Let's do it.
Are we live yet?
Oh man, I forgot I'm miserable.
You are miserable.
Lucy is miserable. I leave for one
Oh,
day.
and yeah.
Okay, I think we're live. Can we see the screen?
Lucy is
Let me
miserable.
see.
I leave for one
Oh,
day.
and yeah.
Okay, I think we're live. Can we see the screen?
Oh, today
now
right
my
here.
computer's being.
Stream 3.
Alright, feel free to.
Oh, Minecraft. I see you.
Okay, yeah. So.
Copy a YouTube link into your channel.
Shall I do that?
Yeah.
Okay. How do I?
Or anyone who has it.
Share. Okay, there it is. That should work. I'll put it in the chat there.
There you are.
Should work. Does the link I put in
There we go. Yeah.
All right, cool. So we're live now, and here is the moment of truth. Lucy.
Yes.
There is your three-breasted orc.
Wait. Hold on. I don't see it.
There it is.
You lie. Oh, hello.
How do you like it?
She is cuter than I was expecting. But I don't hate it.
Wow, yeah, that really looks like a LTR orc too, with the helmet and the clothing.
Yeah, it was, so I commissioned BMO for this thing. And
nice. I love it then.
No tusks. Literally unfuckable.
It was actually referenced from another image that looks similar to this. I thought it'd be funny if she did like the winking thing with her helmet, so I asked for that. So there we go. We have our three
the shading is
orc
great.
waifu.
Perfect.
All right, so I guess now I'll do the recap for the nobodies that are listening. And by that I mean there's nobody. But so yeah, last time you managed to defeat the troll with the that you were hunting with Fitch Talltree, but unfortunately, of course, the large orc that seemed to be in charge of this small band that was working with the troll managed to get away, along with the other large orc that seemed to be his second in command, and a few of the other smaller orcs that were waylaying you from above. I believe you killed 2 of the smaller orcs, so there were 2 left, if I recall correctly. And you managed to, after that, with all your injuries, you decided to hide in a cave and spend the night there, during which you recovered some of your injuries a little bit, but many of you are still significantly hurt. I may have to actually pull up the most recent versions of I don't remember who all. Newer wasn't there at the end, and Rodrek wasn't there at the end. Was everybody else there at the end? I think so.
I was there.
Okay. So what I have written down for Rodrek's current endurance is 23 with a load of 13 and a fatigue of 1. And I have Newer with a current endurance of 1 and You're both weary and wounded, and your injury is 1, which means in a day you will recover from the wound and you'll be back to normal. Arodrat's not wounded at all, so he's fine.
Ace.
So what you're saying is I've had better days.
You've all had better days. Your current hope is 3 newer, and your current hope, Aradreth, is 2.
Did you say I
Oh
have
man.
any? Do I have any shadow or shadow scars? Do you have any of them marked for me?
I've listed that you have 0. That both of you have 0 shadow, and of course you have 0 shadow scars.
Okay, cool.
Could you send me
Speaking
the
of,
sheet you have?
Sure. Yeah, I'll do that.
what happens when your shadow gets above your hope again?
When your shadow gets above your hope, that's when you become miserable, and what happens then is Eyes of Sauron now count as auto fails.
Oh dear.
That's right.
That's pretty intense.
I'm thinking I might exchange. Well, never mind, because I was thinking about exchanging my shadow for a shadow scar to start fresh, but then we were saying I should probably just go hard and get my shadow up to 11 if I'm already miserable. Just like, you know, go all the way and then exchange it for a scar. So
That is the economical
maybe I'll do
method.
that.
Okay.
Carmax.
Did we spend our points yet or no?
You have not spent your current set of experience points.
Okay.
If you got, I think it's fair to say that we could have a fellowship phase now, if you wish, because you did just go through a whole ordeal. So you could spend like a week and recover some of your hope and your, presumably all of your fatigue at this point. I doubt you all have much more than like a couple fatigue. So your fatigue should recover fully, and you recover shadow, or excuse me, you cover hope up to your heart rating. I think if I remember correctly. And there's one more little thing that I'm going to have to work. So, because you have assisted Fitch Talltree, he is now willing to give you one of his powerful archet hunting bows.
Oh, is he conscious now?
Oh yeah, all of your conscious when on the way back. Oh, I forgot to
Okay.
mention. Yeah, last time you on your way back, you did stumble across a cabin that Orodreth that you've all found a little map to, a crude map that listed a path that showed a path back to Bree from where it was. And it seemed to have been there seemed to have been some hints that it may have been that a ranger may have been involved in at least the use of this map or the creation of the map or the use of the cabin or both, and based on the scripts that were written on the map. And Scaradreth recognized that, and furthermore, the cabin looked very. It looked like a recent struggle had happened there, including some blood that was leading out of the cabin. And what was I looking for? I was looking for rest. So I've got to find that somehow. Adventuring phases. Where are you?
Hmm.
Oh, I guess I should. Oh,
Well-
I can put a fellowship phase. What am I thinking?
I vote for Fellowship Phase because my current endurance is I just woke up from unconscious, and my injury is 9, so I will probably benefit most from a good
I
rest.
think it's in I think it's in everyone's best interest for fellowship phase at this point.
I think so.
It sounds
I
good.
don't think.
There's your character sheet. Walls. Yeah, so Walls, I believe, based on this character sheet, you should have 16 adventure points and 12 skill points. Yeah, that should be right. And
Right,
so,
that's what I have. Awesome.
lovely. So yes, okay, so your first order of business, and I'll share my screen in a moment. I'll just share it. Should I just share it on screen? Yeah, I'll just share it on screen.
Yeah. We'll be able to respond faster if you're also sharing your screen in Discord and not just through live stream.
That is a good point. I will stream it then from here. Where are you? What? No, I don't want to stream Mozilla Firefox. I want to. No. Oh, there it is. I was hitting along with the wrong one. Okay. So basically, you'll choose how long you want to go. Minimum of 1 week, but you can spend up to an entire season in principle. I don't know if you want to do that, but if you really want to spend an entire season resting up in Bree, you can. I will comment that at the very least, if you choose to go for a longer period of time, I may permit an increased amount of hope to be recovered. I actually scratch that. I will allow a greater amount of hope to be recovered after if you choose more than 1 week. I'll say it'll be some kind of die roll. I'll figure that out if you decide that to determine how much each of you recover based on how long you choose to spend in your fellowship phase. But the default amount you will recover is so you'll gain an amount of hope equal to your heart score. I believe this should put you back into not miserable range, Ilario. So at the bare minimum, add up to, I think for you. Oh wait, you actually I think only have don't you have a heart of 2?
Yes.
Okay, so you recover 2. Does that put you above miserable? Or
It does.
Okay, good.
So I get that right now?
Yes.
Woohoo!
And everyone else gets whatever their heart score is. I believe a Rodrep, that's 5. Newer, I want to say, is also 5. No, you're 4.
Yeah, mine says 4. I don't know if I think that's what it came for default. I don't know if any level up changed that.
Yeah, in this game, you do not level up your strength, heart, or wits, with rare exceptions.
Got it. So whatever your rating is, that's what it's set to for good.
Yeah, pretty much. There's like
so
one
we
or
add that
two.
back, we add that.
There's like I think one way to level up one of them. I think a virtue allows you to level up one of them once, but you can never get it again. So
Okay, so we just add that rating back to our current hope score.
yeah. So in your case, that would mean
And then
you get up to 7 total.
I should be So what conditions need to be met to be weary or wounded?
Weary is when your endurance weary is when your load plus your fatigue equals or exceeds your current endurance.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
It's still definitely weary. Do we have a way to get the current endurance back to?
Yeah, you're gonna recover your endurance a little bit for this fellowship phase. Your fatigue should drop by, I think it's fully.
Okay.
Where is it? I'll have to go back to Journey, I guess. But well, okay. So I know where to go for that actually. So Recovery. Which was easier to
Also, by default, everyone put your fellowship score back to 5, right?
yeah, everyone put your fellowship score should start at 5.
Okay.
And remember, you can recover hope with fellowship score as well. 1 point to anybody who wants to use it. You can only do it when you decide to take a rest of some sort. Which was easier to find resting. Okay, anyway, sorry. So your load plus your fatigue is your total load, your so-called total load. And when that equals or exceeds your current endurance, that's when you are weary. What was your other question?
The part 2 is it was so. My condition is also wounded. What do I gotta do to remove that?
Wounded. So you check that box when you're wounded, and then to the right is where you see a little box that says injury above it and a number. In your case, the number is 1.
Right.
And the number indicates how many days it'll take you without any successful healing rolls to recover that wound. So you're going to be recovered from your wound before the end of the fellowship phase.
Okay.
So it'll just go away for you.
So I should just take that off now then, is what you're saying?
Yes, and anyone else who's wounded is, I think, within the realm, unless you have like a wound rating of like greater than 7. I think it's going to be certain that you're going to recover that, and you're certainly going to recover all of your endurance as well in this time.
Okay, so if we want to be tip top, my injury rating is 9. So 9 days is probably the minimum if we want to have everyone tip top for the next adventure phase.
Okay. Is our current endurance? What's our current endurance? Oh, it's in the strength category.
Well, you're trying. So Ella, here, are you talking about getting your endurance to max? Is that why you want to take a longer time?
My injury is 9.
Oh, you have a 9 injury.
I'm wounded. Yes.
Well, here's the other thing. You can reduce the amount of time with successful healing rolls. I think rules as written, it should be perfectly fine as that you get to make a healing roll every day, and so you will recover at minimum 7. During special all recovery number, hope points and hearts and recover from all final phrases. Okay, so regardless of whether you have wounds or not, you're going to recover all of your endurance, because I believe the minimum strength score is going to be like, I think the lowest one of you has a strength score of a 5, I think. It might have been 4, but even if it was 4, that would be 24 endurance that you recover, even if you had a bunch of wounds. But, again, we have healing rolls, so I'm going to say whoever wants to tend to Alahir's wounds may make 7 healing rolls to see how fast he recovers. And if you need to take the whole 9 days rest, then you can do that. But otherwise, you don't need to. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that every additional week you spend for the fellowship phase beyond the first, I'll give you an additional D6 worth of hope that you can roll and recover. So if you go for a full month, it'll be 3d6 that you get to roll to see how much you recover. If you go just an additional week, that'll just be 1d6 you get to roll. I think that's what I'm going to do for this.
Because I think we're on a time limit because orcs are in motion around this village.
Yep. It's also worth reminding you that you also before you started this little incursion, you did encounter some rowdy men in the pony before you left on this little troll excursion. And
Right.
they had some strange gold that they claimed they got. There's some strange gold that I believe Noor was able to determine came from Cardalan.
Hmm.
Okay.
Ardalan.
Real quick,
Oh
I don't
yes.
have any conditions, right?
You do not have any conditions.
Fucking tank
So
it.
I'm no longer wary, but I am currently wounded. Okay, so yeah, let me pull up the map.
There we go.
I
Can
shouldn't
somebody
be.
post the link for the map?
I shouldn't be weary or wounded anymore if I have my full endurance back.
Yeah, you should remove those ticks.
Yeah.
So full
I'm
endurance.
weary.
And what about hope? Did that go up any?
Your
Or
hope
should it
goes
still
up
So
be?
equivalent to your current heart score. Your heart rating.
Okay, so I'm at 7. All right, I'm ready.
Yep. I think I've got everything cleared up.
And like I said, if you want to spend more weeks, you can. Of course, Ella here did bring up a point that there are orcs in motion, so time may be sensitive.
Is there anything else we need to do in town?
Can't think of anything. Does anyone else have anything that they're really feeling the need before we take our next
Still want
trip?
to start my old Toby operation, but that had to wait.
I think I missed how do we get out of being weary again?
you gain your full endurance back, so you're no longer weary.
Yeah.
Oh,
To stop being weary, you basically just have to rest.
okay.
In one
And we
way
did
or
that
another.
already?
Yeah, you're at full endurance. You should no longer be weary.
Hmm.
Okay.
Unless you decide to pick up 1,000 rocks or something. Where is the thing I'm looking for?
Hmm. Any note? What's the state of the village? Are they actively preparing defenses? You know, rousing up willing and able-bodied defenders or something?
Well, when you return to town, what did you do about the? Did you tell like the Reeve about the orc thing? Did you tell people about it? What do you do with the information about this orc band?
We should definitely tell the people. So,
I feel like we
what?
should consult Elrond or someone.
Auron's back east.
He is about 16 days away, I think.
Ow.
19, or maybe it's more like 19. He's way down the east road, all the way in Rivendell. How do I do this? Transform.
Is
Do we know
our
which direction the orcs are going?
Say it again, Sonny.
Do we know which direction the orcs are going?
Probably toward the village.
I said we go. I'd say we beeline there.
Where are you going? Okay, well, first you are doing a fellowship phase. So you have to make a few choices. Does anyone want to spend experience, and what fellowship phases are you going? What fellowship undertakings are you going to do? Those are two things you have to
Yes.
do.
Yeah, yeah. So we're not adventuring yet.
Yes. First order of business is anyone spending experience?
Yes, of course. I have 12 to play with, so I think I can raise one. Which pool goes to skills? Skill points, right?
Skill points go to skills. Adventure points go to the row below that.
Gotcha. So 12 points is enough for 2 points to 3, right?
Yes, if I recall
So
correctly.
healing seems to be pretty important. The other 2 points I have are for crafts, which Noor has it covered well in hand. I guess awe is another thing I'm pretty strong at. So I'll probably, you know what? So I'm gonna spend my skill points. So skill points go back down to 0. Control S, and I go to awe, increase from 2 to 3, and I'll save that. I'll need a reminder. I think we probably all need a reminder of how adventure points work for Valor and Wisdom.
They work the same way, except you can only buy one or the other. You can, excuse me. During a single fellowship phase, you can only buy one rank in Valor, or you can only buy rank. You can only buy a single rank in Valor or a single rank in Wisdom. You cannot do both. You cannot double dip. I believe you can spend a Valor points on new Valor or Wisdom and a new combat proficiency if you wish, but yeah.
So
But it works exactly the same way.
increasing. Okay. Okay. So increasing from Valor 1 to 2, it takes 8 points, right?
Yes.
You know me, I love damage dealing. So if I had enough points, I would probably. Well, you know what? Should I save? Should I save for a 4th point in spears?
It's a very
I know that's what
valid
I think I'm
choice.
gonna do.
But I mean, I feel like I'm ignoring a very big mechanic in Valor and Wisdom. So, what is the big mechanic there again? Oh, you spent like you. If I increase my Valor, I get one more reward in Valor.
Yeah.
Is that
So
right?
if you buy a Valor rank, you get a new reward, which means which you can apply to your spear or your whatever weapon you want. In other words, you could have your spear have 2 different rewards applied to it.
Mm-hmm.
And with Wisdom, you get new virtues, and virtues are
Right.
very very
Right.
strong. If it were me, I would prioritize I would personally prioritize at this stage getting a new Valor or Wisdom rank over getting a 4th combat proficiency, just because the 4th proficiency is very expensive. But
Yeah, that's true.
especially because of your cultural virtues can be very strong.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Valor. So rewards apply to your items, namely your weapons, right? Or your armor, right? And virtues apply to yourself. Is that right?
What?
Like for example, okay, so rewards apply to weapons and virtues apply to your character. Is that right?
Rewards are weapons, virtues are character. Yes. Am I still
Okay.
quiet, Fiery Patriot? If you're still here. Let me see if...
In Discord chat, you sound pretty good.
Let me pop into a live. Let me turn mine on there, and I'll see how you sound. Give me a minute.
All right, thank you. But yeah, so that's how that works. So it sounds like Ella here, you might buy a new Wisdom rank or Valor.
I think so. Yeah.
Is anyone else doing this? Because we do have to. We do want to make this snappy. I wish I had done this before the stream, but I didn't really have time.
I was gonna say, if you've got a way to turn your mic up just on the stream side and not the Discord side, you could afford to go up a few couple notches.
How's this?
Probably better.
Is this good enough?
But yeah. So I have a thought. So if I want to go up to 2 levels for spear combat proficiency, that's gonna be how many adventure points? It's gonna be 8, I think.
To buy which?
To buy a 2nd level in combat proficiencies for spears.
Yeah, that'll be 8 points.
8 adventure points specifically.
Yeah, specifically adventure.
All right, I think with the way that all these fights have gone down, I probably need another level in spears.
That could be helpful.
How much is it from 3 to 4?
Alternatively, I think you would be in a good position to buy a third rank in Axis.
Yeah, I don't think I have. I only have 10 adventure points. I don't think I can afford the
Oh,
the
do you?
X level yet. Yeah, I'm short by 2. So I think it's probably better for now to just round out with the spears and then go back
I
X
have you
later.
at 16 and 12.
Leveling up.
I think it didn't. I spent a couple last session on some stuff, didn't I?
Well, so you spent 8 points to get a wisdom rank, I believe. That brought you
Right.
down to, that should have brought you down to from 15 to 7 adventure points.
Amari.
We have since got 9 adventure points and no opportunity to spend them, so I don't believe you have.
Okay.
So
I have.
You didn't count your 6 that you got from last session. That's what it is.
Oh, okay. So I should have 16 adventure points. So does that mean I need to have like 12 skill points as well now? Because
Yeah.
I have 6 marked right now.
Yeah, you should have 16 adventure and 12 skill.
Okay, you know what? Maybe you're right then. Maybe it is worth 12 for the axe just right now. Just ignore any spear shenanigans.
To be fair, when I level up my swords, it's really helped in my combat. So
Yeah, I'm gonna actually pop a 3rd level axes then.
All right.
Do
What was
it.
that for 12
Okay,
points?
so okay.
Cool.
Just keep it snappy. I'm gonna get a second point in wisdom. So what are the virtues I could choose from again?
All right. So, Lariel, are you doing anything, by the way, or are you just gonna stick with what you got?
I'm probably just gonna chill.
All right.
Lucy,
I'll save them up.
you're focusing on bows,
Just
right?
chill.
All right. So
Yeah, I'm not sure how much it costs to go from 3 to 4.
3 to 4
Hold
is
on.
20.
I'm saving for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna save them up.
Yeah, right. All right.
What you are you? Oh, you're planning to level up bows and swords.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So
I haven't even used my sword yet, so.
Well, I think your bow is your primary weapon, and I think that's a good choice for you.
Yeah.
You've got a high strength, which means your combat rolls are really good. So from a distance, that's very helpful.
Yeah, from a team composition perspective, you guys should probably focus on one weapon and let the other guys cover like ranged or melee.
Yeah.
Mm.
Probably gonna focus swords just to let you guys know.
Cool.
Oh, virtues. Okay, so
here's the regular virtues. I believe you have. Did you choose mastery? What did you choose for your first rank? No, you had dour handed, didn't you?
yes.
Okay, so you have dour handed. So these are your other regular virtues. Confidence, your hope can increase by 2. Your maximum hope. Hardiness, your wisdom, your endurance can be raised by 2, or your wisdom rating, whichever is higher. So this would actually mean it's 3, right? No. It's gonna be 2.
Ooh, mastery sounds sweet.
Mastery is very.
It is. I have mastery.
I might want that.
Mastery is real good.
It was very good.
Mastery, you can choose in 2 skills to make them favored. Nimbleness, you can raise your parry rating by 1. That's good for combat. Prowess, you can lower. Oh, excuse me. This isn't the one I was thinking of. There might be cultural virtues that allow you to increase your actual ratings, but prowess allows you to lower one of your attribute target numbers by 1, which is almost equivalent to raising a rating by 1. Actually, yeah, it's almost equivalent. There's like a few cases where it's not, but prowess means it's going to be easy for you to roll successes on one of them, and you choose carefully because you only pick one of your attributes. Now, are you happy with those choices, or would you like to review your cultural virtues?
Mastery, definitely mastery.
Okay, definitely take mastery. Don't care about your cultural virtues then. Let me see if
I'll look at those later.
All right. Well, I think you might want to look at them now. Nah, you know what?
Yeah, just in the interest of time, I guess, both in game and also real life.
Yeah.
So Matt.
Here's what I'll do for you.
Mhm.
We'll review the cultural ridges later together. And
Mhm.
outside of gaming, we can retcon your choice of mastery if you want.
Mhm.
I'm fine with that. It sounds like Elariel and Aradreth, are you going to pick mastery? Oh, no, you already have mastery on Aradreth. Elariel, are you going to take it or no?
So that would be skill points.
That is
Or wait,
adventure
that'd be
points.
adventure points.
Yeah, and it'll be 8 of them.
How much does that cost?
From 1 to 2 is 8 points.
I kind of want to level up my bow, so I'm thinking I should just save them.
Okay.
How many points do you have in your bow right now?
3.
It's not. It's certainly not a bad idea.
I want it to be OP, so.
Yes, do it. I mean, yeah, min max.
Do it. Become
Okay. Just to finish off my decision here, I'll do mastery, and I picked stealth and lore, both of which I have 3 points in, to make them both favored, which is awesome.
All right.
That's funny. That's the same thing I chose.
Stealth and lore.
Yep.
Oh shoot! Okay, we're loaded on stealth and lore then.
I've got levels in lore as well, so we should be able to basically identify anything we find.
Yeah.
You'd
Don't have to
think.
pick out anything.
In theory.
You have a lot of lore knowledge. But okay. Heel Deer. I believe you're the only one I haven't heard from. If you're speaking, I cannot hear you.
So the price for skill points, do you have a visual I can see? Because
Yes.
I might.
It's in Children of or sorry, Doriath,
Okay.
yeah.
And scroll up to like a little bit, and you can see the experience points cost. It's
Okay,
also pinned,
thank you.
I think.
Oh, I found it.
Yeah. Okay. Good deal, Walls. Or Heel Deer. Whichever one, whatever your name is.
I can't hear him. Is that just me then?
I can't hear him either. He wrote it in chat.
Oh, okay.
So I saw that.
2 to 3 for skill points. Cost 12. I might level up my healing with my skill points and save my adventure then.
Okay.
That would be awesome.
So I have 0 skill points now, and I'm going to level up healing from 2 to 3.
All right, you might as well make some healing rolls to see how much you heal Alakir.
Okay. And then I also still have those healing herbs.
Yeah, you can use those if you want.
Okay. And so that plus 2 favored healing. So that gives me 2 extra dice as well.
Is that what the herbs do?
It says plus 2 favored and healing.
What says plus 2 favored?
The herbs. That's what I wrote.
I feel like I would have just said plus 2 die 6 d6. I don't
Okay.
think it would give you favored.
So 3, 4, 5 plus I'm favored, so another 12. All right. So I'm trying to heal Ellie here.
Yep.
My life is in your hand.
I got a Gandalf rune.
Okay.
And a T rune.
All right. If that's the case, then your first day of healing for your fellowship phase, Alahir recovers automatically 2 injuries. So in fact, you don't need to make any more rolls. Alahir will fully recover for the rest of by the end of the fellowship phase.
Oh,
That was
awesome,
easy.
awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Um,
Also notice we're probably getting our good rolls out of the way so that when the actual battle comes.
yeah, well,
Um,
part of me hopes we don't have a battle. I've not been running those super efficiently, I don't think. But I think I've got I think I've got some ways to improve the rate at which combat proceeds, but
oh, it's just a flurry of numbers. I don't envy you.
yeah. What was I doing? Oh yeah, we gotta review the fellowship undertakings. Let's get this going quickly. So remember, you basically pick two. You pick one of anything. I believe you cannot pick a Yule undertaking. I believe those are specific. Those are specifically for Yule. But you can pick any other one, and you can basically you pick any other one plus one of your free ones. So yeah.
Our
First one's Gather
patron?
Rumors. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, should we meet our patron? But I'm down for whatever.
You could, I suppose. In 7 days, you're not going to be able to go meet your patron because I guess I'm lying a little bit. Gil Ryan is all the way in Rivendell.
Oh, you can't just show up really quick.
Right. That would require a proper fellowship phase.
What do you mean we don't have fast travel?
Yeah,
I know,
suppose
that's
you
what
all
I'm
had-
saying.
If you all had horses, then maybe. Because that would cut your travel time in half, but that would still be like 8 days there, 8 days back, at least.
Mhm.
So I guess you could do it, but it'll require your fellowship phase to be basically twice as long. In which case, I would at least give you another D6 of hope, I guess. But
So I would probably, I without knowing the full list, I think Gather Rumors is probably a good one because see if we can get some more insight into what those suspicious men were earlier. Um,
okay, yeah. So you can definitely make that. That's a fair choice. And you have two wardens, so this is a free undertaking. Which means you can your other choice can be anything else that you wish, except of course meat patient, and all the Yule ones. Pottered, stored, and figured maps. You have to learn as much about some perils. So this would give you a modifier of +1 to all feat dies during journeys. Strength and Fellowship gives you a bonus to your fellowship rating until the next fellowship phase. Study magical items.
so it's not permanent.
Well, it's permanent until you decide not to take it again. Although study magical items is something you can't really take because you don't have any new magical items. You can write a song if you wish, and those are your options. So I guess you don't have that many options right now.
Stored and figured maps.
Did we lose
The
Stony?
maps one seems pretty cool.
I have not heard from Stony in a minute.
Oh, he's just not on my screen. Never mind, he's over here. I see.
Okay.
Yes, he is muted. Will we have to have a map? Or no, sorry, no, it's a okay, so
You're gonna ponder stories and figured maps. You're basically just going to.
until the next fellowship phase, apply a modifier of +1 to all feat die rolls. That seems pretty cool.
Yeah. So that's a very favorable thing. It means it basically means that whatever event takes place, will be less bad than it could be.
And none of us is a scholar, so that wouldn't be free anyway.
Well, you've already picked the one of your free undertakings. It doesn't matter. You can just take this one now.
That would probably help us very much in the next adventuring phase. So that's probably where my vote would go. Actually, is probably the maps. The only other one I'm thinking of is someone could write a song.
Well, Strength and Fellowship also is good because if you don't take any, like for instance, if you don't take any journeys, then before the next Fellowship phase, then Ponder Sword and Figure's map is ultimately wasted. There's a good chance you will, but Strength and Fellowship gives you a bonus to your Fellowship rating, which means every game you get 6 instead of 5 Fellowship score to spend and recover hope or whatever. I think that's the main thing you do with it. I don't think there's really anything else.
Honestly, that seems kind of great. Let's all go Strength and Fellowship.
Yep, let's do it. I think. All aboard.
Strength and Fellowship, you said?
Sounds good to me.
Strength and Fellowship.
All right, good. So everyone adjusts your Fellowship score from 5 to 6. And you're specifically seeing if you can gather any rumors about this orc band that you've encountered, seeing if you can find anything. Is that what you were asking about?
I was thinking about the men from earlier when we ran into in the bar.
Yeah.
But that was just me. I guess it is up to the group to decide which. We have to decide which, right? To ask about.
Yeah, you get to pick one. I mean, well, okay. I will comment this right now. You actually can choose this without having anything in mind, and I can just make up a rumor for you. But if you do have something specific in mind, then yes, you can absolutely pick it.
Well, I you know what? I defer to Stug actually to give us more direction.
Okay,
but that's just.
I think it was a perfectly fine choice. But if you don't want to inquire about anything specific, okay, so when you get back, you incidentally, before I say this, rules as written, or at least what's written in the rule book, you can only have you can only have a number of rewards equal and up to and equaling your current valor rating. And this bow that you get from Fitch is considered to have a reward. It's sort of a unique reward, and it's a pretty good one. But the way the rules write it is that you basically, every Fellowship phase, you can switch weapons. You can switch between whatever reward you want, whether you want this reward or the one you have. At least that's my understanding of it. So, if we want to just stick with the rules as written, then Ilariel, I assume, would, or somebody else, I suppose, who uses bows, but Ilariel, I assume, would make the choice. I will comment that the reward associated with this bow is, and I'll add a caveat when I'm done here, but the reward associated with this bow is, it's not grievous, so it'll drop down to 4 instead of 5 or it'll drop down damage from whatever your current damage is, which I think is 5 because you have grievous, to 4 because it's not grievous. But instead it has a +3 to attack. So every roll you make is 3 better than it otherwise would be.
+3 to attack?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Oh wow.
+3
First
to
off,
attack. Where's I don't
first
get
off, do
it.
we agree that that Elariel will take up the bow?
I would give
Yes.
it to her.
Do it. Yes. Let's
She's
do it. All right, Lucy, you get the bow. Have
Well,
fun.
I don't understand the +3 to attack. I'm sorry.
So when you make an attack roll, you know
Where?
how like you sum up all the numbers that you see.
Uh-huh.
So let's say you roll.
I would be fully leveled? Or no, that's not like the combat proficiency.
No, it's
No, just add 2 to the die roll, right?
yeah. So you roll
Oh.
your feat die plus, in your case, 3d6s. So I'm gonna make a roll right now. An example roll. So I got a 9 on my feat die, and I've got a 2, 3, and a 1 on my 6s. So that's a total of 15 right there. With your archette bow, if I was using that for your archette bow, that would instead be an 18.
Oh.
So it makes it that much easier to meet your target number.
But then I would lose 1 damage.
You would do a little less. Well, think about it this way: you do less damage in every attack. However, the number of attacks that you make that connect increases.
Okay.
So DPS might still go up.
Okay.
um,
I'll do it. So delete Grievous.
I wouldn't delete it necessarily. I would just like
Uh-huh.
put it in parentheses and say on hold right now, because I think you can still switch back to your Grievous bow if you end up preferring it.
Okay.
Um,
So if I wanted to like switch to my other bow or whatever.
yeah.
Okay.
Remember, switching to your sidearm is always faster than reloading.
And I would call this bow that you have now just call it Archette Hunting Bow.
Okay.
And it has all the same stats as your longbow, just except for the Grievous feature. So it does 4 damage instead of 5.
Okay.
Anyway.
+3 attack. Okay. Cool. Well, thanks.
All right, I guess the last couple of questions would be, how long beyond the first week would we want to extend this rest? And the question to Stug is, what rumors do we unearth, and what did they tell us?
Yes. So, well, as for how much longer you want to extend it, like I said, I'm going to say it's a die roll of d6 per week. I guess if you only want to extend it a few days, rather than that, I might say it's like a d6, like 2d6, pick the lowest, or something like that. But, yeah.
So, 2 weeks, I guess. Would that be a reasonable resting period?
Yeah. 2 weeks sounds like a good amount.
Okay. Let's do it. So I guess to take care of the hope situation, we'll all roll what exactly?
Everyone roll a single d6. Whatever number you see is the amount of hope you receive.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Oh.
Watch me roll a 1. Okay, not bad.
Okay, I got a 6.
Ooh.
Did you get a 6?
Oh, I got a
Yeah.
1.
Oh no.
You got a 1? Aw.
Yeah,
Ah, that's
I got a 5.
Ah,
that's
Is
on the
this
bad
beyond?
roll. Yeah.
Is this beyond the hope score we get for our heart rating.
No, you can only recover up to your max.
What's that again? Oh, 11 for me. Okay.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Did you have would you have had like 13 or 14?
Yeah, 14, but
Oh,
that's okay.
so you're capped.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so I can't go over 12 anyways. Okay, so basically. So that's
Oh,
6
all
for
right.
Well, believe me, you're still gonna be thankful for those extra hope points.
I mean, I'll take one less hope point. I'm maxed out, so I can't complain.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And yeah. So, okay. So as for the rumor, you said you want me to come up with a rumor for you.
I guess I'll ask the group. Yeah, you guys, because I'm not sure which one's more important, the orcs or the men, or maybe they're the same quest line, but
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
there's always the likelihood they're connected, like the dwarf and the trolls were.
Yeah, maybe. So
So,
shall we let Stug kind of guide us in the direction he chooses?
well, is it possible that we can kind of split up and pursue both paths?
I'm in favor of letting Doug give us a direction to go.
Me too.
I'd like
All
to keep
right.
everyone. I'd like to keep everyone together on one objective.
Then let's do that.
Yeah, splitting up is usually the first bad thing that happens in every horror movie. All right.
Also,
However,
Lay it on us,
also
Stug.
it's, a,
yeah,
it's also a nightmare for Doug to keep track of 2 parties at once.
that is
That is true.
that is true.
Let's be
Well, you
nice
can
to
only
our
get
DM.
one rumor. You can't get both, or you can't get multiple. So you'd still have to pick one regardless, or you still have to. You'd still only all go in the same direction regardless. But anyway, so let's see what happens. Let me think. How am I doing this? Say. Okay. Evens will be information on orcs. Odds will be information on the rowdy men.
Ah.
And Eye
Okay.
of Sauron and Gandalf rune will be something else.
Ooh.
Let me just think about what I want Eye of Sauron to be first. Okay. What did I say evens were?
Orcs.
All right. So I probably shouldn't have said that.
Oopsies.
All right. Shut up, Lord Cameron. So that's okay. So as you're wandering around town, you do inform. You start to talk to random citizens, mainly focusing in the pony, especially because you know there's travelers there. You mentioned there are a few. You came across a small orc man in the Chetwood, and this gets some of the travelers and villagers on edge. And Barnabas Butterbur suggests that that the Reeve be informed and the Watchers be informed. I believe they're the I forget what they're called. Anyway, but so essentially you take the time and you do inform the Reeve, and so he's on alert, and so the watch is now on alert. They're taking extra precautions. But while you're trying to gather rumors to see if anyone's seen anything or heard anything about these orcs, One evening, as you're sort of hopeless, is about the fourth day of your the seventh and last day of your uh, reprieve. Oh, excuse me, you've done 2 weeks, so this would be the midway point of your fellowship phase. A man enters the prancing pony. And I should probably stop straight. I should probably turn off the window capture there. Anyway, back to Orc Waifu. And it's a very tall man, dark hair, gray-eyed, and very tall, wearing cloaked, lightly armored, wielding what looks like a bow and a long sword and shield. And he walks up to Barnabas Butterbur, the innkeeper, and makes an inquiry that you don't hear. But he Barnabas Butter seems to make some kind of response, which seems to disappoint and upset this tall man. But then Barnabas Butter points over to you guys at your table, and he looks over at you, and he walks over to you. And this man introduces himself. He goes, well met. I see, if I'm not mistaken, you are a man of Gondor. Looking at you, Aradra. My name is Forlong. I'm a ranger in the north. I'm a ranger. My partner, Kirion, has been missing for some time. I believe he was tracking an orc band in this region some time ago. I'm wondering if you've seen any signs. I'm told you had some interactions with orcs recently in the chat.
Oh man. But wait, did we have interactions with this?
So his name is Forlong, right? Ranger
Yes.
from the north, and this is the first time meeting him. He has a comrade, fellow ranger, that has gone missing.
Right.
So this is. I think he's wondering if we have seen him, considering that he knows that we have run into these orcs. So
I mean, we faced the orcs, but we didn't see him, right?
You did not
right,
see
but
any ranger with the orcs.
Say it again. Sorry, son.
You didn't see any ranger with the orcs.
Right, right. Should we mention the house that we found? I mean, probably not related. I mean, the map was drawn by a ranger, wasn't it?
That is definitely something. Orodrek noticed that it seemed to have that it resembles. You suspect that it was a ranger who wrote the map or parts of it anyway.
Okay, so we can bring up the map. Yeah, so bring up the map or address and ask him. Maybe produce it as well, and just say like, is this something he might have made?
We did encounter a band of orcs, but we didn't see a ranger. We did find a map in a small home. And then I take it out and I show it to him. Does the script look familiar to you?
certainly recognize it. Where did you find this?
This
Uh,
was in a lone homestead north of the village, out in the outskirts of the Chetwood.
I believe he was using an old abandoned cabin as a base of operations in the Chetwood recently. What did you see in there? Is there any other clue you found other than this map?
They seemed to be signs of a struggle, and I think there was a trail of blood, right? Was that what you saw?
You did see a trail of blood leading out.
Yeah. So I guess we let him know what we saw. Looks like he got captured or worse.
His eyes widen, and he chooses to, and he goes, "I thank you for the information. Do you, may I have this? May I keep this map?"
sure. It'll be a pleasure to give it to you. What are you gonna do now?
I'm going to find him if I can.
Do you plan on pursuing the orcs?
I believe I must. Yes.
Coincidentally, our group is going to head back out there to. Uh, our purpose is in protecting the village that's out there. Um, you know, our dealings with the orcs out there indicate to us that there might be something out there that further uh, puts this village in danger. So we I propose that we unite our efforts here. You could come with us, or we could come with you if you have an idea of where to go.
I welcome the assistance. I don't know where they are. There has been increased orc activity in Area Door recently, and it is concerning, and it's one of the reasons why we're tracking this band of orcs. We wish to know where they come from.
Hmm.
We were both pursuing separate groups. We were meant to rendezvous a few days ago, though unfortunately, well, am I that quiet, Cameron?
Oh yeah. I have you up at like 175%
That's better.
in Discord.
Is this better?
It feels the same.
It's so quiet.
You have the
about
HyperX, right?
I do have the HyperX.
Okay, so the knob at the bottom, right? That's the one you've been
Oh,
turning?
did I turn it down or turn it up there? Blah
Oh,
blah
there we
blah blah
go.
blah 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 blah.
There we go. There we go. That's better.
Okay, my bad. I think I turned it the wrong way before. But Sketch
That's
said it was
that
better,
sound.
so I thought it was better. All right,
That you're sounding great now.
lovely. Okay, now you can all hear me. Let's restart the stream and get it back to.
Now, where were we?
All right, so I don't know what you guys missed, Lord Cameron Fire Patriot, but I guess to summarize, a ranger walked into the pony, and is indicating to the group that he is that there's been increased orc activity in the region, and he and his comrade were essentially investigating orc activity in the region. And excuse me. they were meant to rendezvous a few days ago. Actually, this would have been 9 days ago. But they uh, didn't meet, and he returned again to see if he has heard any rumors of him. And all they found is well, I guess you heard their side of the conversation at any rate. They found blood and stuff in a cabin, and a map. So they are offering to assist. And so the ranger Forlong goes, "How long ago did you find this cabin? How long ago was this? When, along with this?"
Shoot. It was no more than a
Yes.
week plus a few days, right? That was
Yeah.
probably at the end of our
Yeah, it would have been
Yeah.
like 8 days ago, I guess, that you would have discovered this.
Hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it's worth noting that the blood you found was dried. Like it was there, but it was dried.
Right. So more than 9 days ago, definitely.
Or at least it was drying. Yeah, it wasn't like super fresh, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like it didn't happen that day. So what? Anyway, so this is worrisome. How soon? So you've only had 1 week of fellowship, so you may. So you did say that you're going to wait another week, technically.
That is true.
We did in fact say that.
That was me not thinking, I think. Well, yeah. Well, anyway. So let's retcon it a little bit. Let's say that this conversation. No, I think this is the appropriate time for it. Anyway, in the middle of so it's been 9 days. You're not in the middle of the fellowship phase, so you will. You'll have to either continue to rest up for the rest of the week, or you're going to have to uh, undo the fellowship point or the hope points that you got and from your roll and pursue
No
this
way.
thing right now.
Oh man. No way. This is
I screwed
like
up a little bit.
yeah, I mean, yeah,
Well, I
we'll
only
I think
rolled
we'll
a
keep our hope.
1, so I'm not really that opposed to it.
Well, here's what we'll say. So he goes, "You guys do look weary still. I will go out and find what I can, and I'll report back to you with what I find. Take your rest."
We greatly appreciate it for long.
And so he heads out and leaves you alone in the inn for the remainder of your resting period. So you spend the rest of your week in quiet. A few days pass before you hear from him again. And he returns and he let's see what he does. Let's see how good he does at searching for things. All right, he does pretty good. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a success. So he returns a few days later, meets you in the pony, and what he tells you is that I've been tracking them for. I managed to track a band of orcs in the Chetwood. From what you tell me, the great orc you found seems to not be the chieftain of the full force that's in the local area.
Hmm.
And the force is somewhat larger than I had expected. I found... this is all I found so far of Kyrion. Although, when I found their camp, I did hear some screams of torment.
Did it sound like Carrion?
I've never quite heard him scream that loudly before, or in that cry of pain.
Oh.
But it very well could have been, and I suspect it is.
When you say a large force of orcs, how many are we talking here?
Perhaps 2 score.
Wow.
Oh man,
What does that mean?
It's like
I
40.
don't know.
40.
40 orcs. For those of you
Oh my
keeping score.
goodness.
You know what? I feel like we could take them.
Of course you do.
I mean, we killed 3 orcs. No, we killed 4 orcs. I mean, trolls. No, we killed 4 trolls. What the fuck?
You have
Come
killed...
on.
Yeah, actually, you have killed a total of 4 trolls.
Yeah.
I feel like
And some
1
orcs.
troll is equal to 10 orcs.
Actually, no, you killed a total of 5 trolls. Well,
We
okay.
killed 5 fucking trolls.
One
That's
of them
50 orcs.
one of them turned to stone, but
It counts.
Counts.
A dub is a dub.
God nerfed him. Not my fault.
Wow. That's a small army.
We go scope it out.
Shoot. Okay.
Or could we convince the watch to come with us? This is kind of threatening them.
Escalate it into a full scale.
you can, in fact... So, on that note, Aradra, this would be a council. We would be initiating a council if you wish to try and convince some of the Wash to come with you.
You eating sun chips there, Stug?
We
No, sorry. I'm actually... I was... You know, I don't know why they put dots in a plastic thing outside of the box, but they do.
Ooh, dots are good. I haven't had dots in forever.
I love dots. But,
So
yeah, sorry for that
random.
noise.
I do think trying to convince the watch would give us some kind of advantage, and we need an advantage, and we're going to try to take them out. We already have an advantage because we can organize it as a surprise attack and spring up on their ass, and I think that'd be great. But what kind of role would this be? Would it be like a persuade role during the council, or
We'll get into that. A council is a whole thing. So you're going to actually speak to the Reeve, and I'm just going to quickly remind myself what the hell the name of the
council would be?
No, what the name of the city watch is called. Bree Wardens. Anyway, it'll be with the Bree Wardens and the Reeve. The Reeve is basically the head of the... He's kind of like the mayor. But now let's go to the councils. Where is it? There you are. Okay. So a council is kind of like a skill endeavor, where it's a sequence of roles designed where you need to make up a certain number of successes in order to effectively convince the group in question to give you assistance. There are different levels of difficulty for this. Now, I do have good news. Considering the orcs threaten them, this would be a pretty reasonable request. In fact, you are offering to help them. But
Yes.
the I guess the basically the way we'll do this is the number how well you do in this council will determine how many allies you can convince to come with you. So I think that's how I'm going to roll with it. But yes, if you manage to fail this, then well, I guess you get nobody. But hopefully you don't fail it. So technically it's supposed to be done in adventuring phase, but I think it's fine if it's started flavor wise at the end of the fellowship phase, because you've only got like half a week left. So basically the way this works is you have an introduction, which is presenting yourself to the group. You will elect a spokesperson, and you can use certain abilities. You can use awe, for example, to express strangers quickly. Courtesy, for example, could ask for support, especially from friends. Riddle could extract information without revealing too much. I don't think that's very useful here. And then there's the interaction phase, which is where you use, this is where like you're giving your arguments, basically. But introduction is sort of to give yourself a good impression. Awe, for example, or courtesy would be very good in this particular instance. I guess you could maybe use riddle, but I don't really know how that makes sense in this case.
What about persuade?
Persuade could also work. Although...
Okay, so I want you guys to know.
Persuade, I feel like, is more single target than other roles is. So it's a little different, but yes, persuade can be applicable. I would say awe, courtesy, and riddle are your prime go-tos for it, but depending on what you do, I guess, like, you could certainly use persuade on the Reeve himself to try and convince him to get his authority more behind you if you wish. So I'd be okay with that. But of course would be like emboldening the crowd, so you wouldn't just get him, you might get some of the Bree Wardens to be like biased in your favor from the get-go. Anyway, so what you'll do, pick your spokesperson, and then that person will roll whatever skill they're trying to use to do their introduction, and I'll tell you what happens based on what you roll.
So, my skill and all those traits suck. It can't be me. So who has the best all courtesy and riddle skill? It'll probably be our bard.
Ella here has pretty good awe.
Mm.
And
weirdly, go ahead.
And I will note, this doesn't preclude you from spending a hope to assist someone if you want. So if like if you want to have a spokesperson and someone else like assists them, like Ella here does the main thing because he's like your war leader, I guess. And Hildir is like,
oh, am I?
Assisting with his silver tongue, gassing up Ella here the entire time. I'm okay with him spending a hope to do that.
I just see that as him going fucking based as he's talking.
On the do historically black church. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so who is your spokesperson?
I mean, that is a good idea.
Before I volunteer, Taildeer has good riddle, right?
I believe
Okay, actually, no. It doesn't apply as well.
Yeah.
You just said, yeah. So
really, we're looking for awe and courtesy.
yeah, courtesy. I don't think anyone's invested in. I don't think.
I got 1 in courtesy.
2 ranks in
I've got-
courtesy, 2 in riddle.
I got 1 in courtesy, and it's favored.
So it seems like because I have 3 in awe and it's favored, so that's probably me.
Yeah,
I will
you're
note
probably
Hearten is particularly good during the actual main part of the council.
not very
The
hard. I
interaction
got
phase,
1.
but yeah. So it sounds like Ella here's your spokesperson.
Alright, I will assist with that part while I can.
Rudrat, you don't have awe. I thought you did. Aw.
No, I got 0 off.
Ella here, what? Let me see something. What is your I don't have your character sheet.
Oh, my what? What skill?
I'm wondering what your distinctive features are.
Oh, keen-eyed and swift. So no, doesn't really apply.
Okay, yeah, those don't help. Well, okay. Go ahead and make your awe roll and well, okay. So you guys gather your I'm assuming you guys seek an audience with the Reeve. He's a busy man, but it's a small enough village, so like it's not crazy busy. He doesn't really have that much to do typically, so it's not too hard to get an audience. 2 days after you meet with this ranger, you seek an audience. How do you introduce yourself?
Well, I mean, the situation seems pretty serious. You have orcs at your doorstep. So,
Well, that's not very awe-inspiring.
well, I don't say that. As I'm considering here's the
This is
context.
out of character. I'm sorry.
You got to go in there, big balls, man. You got to go. I'm
like,
fucking
meeting.
I assume there's a table and we're all at a table.
Or a little hall, yeah.
Okay, so I slam my fists down on the table and say, "Dude, wait, I have to like write a speech or something."
I have to role play in my role playing games.
Yeah, good point. I say,
I'm not gonna make you stress out too much over it.
I would say, "Damn it, villagers! Do you not realize what is at your doorstep?"
This is really aggressive.
I don't know. I'm taking the word "awe" and running with it. I don't know what you want from me.
No, I think it's great. Do it.
Like we and our party have committed our lives and our strength to try to defend this village from what we see as a threat. Even without our help, you will need to defend yourselves for your very livelihood. So even but I propose that we.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing I think you're forgetting. This is an introduction.
Oh, okay.
You're trying to tell
I
them
don't
who you
know.
are, basically.
Oh, okay. Shoot. Well, who are we?
The fellowship.
Who are we? Damn it!
We are a mighty fellowship. I don't know. We have just come and we have five
You're allowed to
troll
just gas
kills to our
yourself up
name.
if you wish. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Do it.
We have wandered the woods north of here, and we have great experience from here. So,
I don't know how
it,
badass you are, man.
yeah, we have. I said we have 5 troll kills to our
There you
name.
go. Okay. Sorry.
And you would do well. You, it's a, I we have, and we on top of this we have garnered the respect and the temporary alliance with a ranger from these parts, um,
From the north.
from the north, and we have already agreed to want to aid him in fighting his fellow brother. Um, we believe our quest is noble. Um, if you guys, if you feel it is, uh, if you feel inclined, we would ask that some of your strongest men accompany us uh, 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 to preemptively strike against these orcs and rescue what we know is at least a few prisoners that they have over there. Oh, by the way, it's not a strong, it's not a small group of orcs. Forlong here has 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 seen at least 2 score in one area. Um, so any effort to lessen their numbers before they even think about mounting an attack on your precious village, um, would be the best. I don't know, something like that.
Okay. Go ahead and make your awe roll. I will say that because you mentioned the fact that you're working with a ranger, that's a -1 to your 1 die, but because you have a dwarf in your party, you get a +1, so it's a straight roll.
Yay.
Wait, what?
Oh shoot! Oh, they don't like the
Give him a
ranger.
hope. I want to
Yeah,
give
the
him a
folk
hope.
group
Oh,
don't like
okay.
rangers. That was the whole thing with Strider.
Yeah, they don't.
Oh.
They're suspicious of the rangers,
Oh, okay.
but they like dwarves.
I'm gonna give him a
Okay.
hope.
So this seems like a pretty pivotal moment. So can I spend 1 hope myself and add 1?
Oh, you sure can. What's your what are your distinctive features again? I know you have swift and keen.
Oh, I have Elven skill, but does that apply here?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. That would be way too OP if it did. Okay, so let me spend a hope. I get 4. And did Hildir want to spend 1 as well?
I was gonna spend 1.
Actually, it turns out Hildir doesn't seem to have awe as a skill, but anyone else who has awe as a skill can.
Oh man, never
They
mind.
totally misunderstood what awe did.
See, yeah, that's so funny because I spent points in all. I have points in all because I thought it was like it does apply to battle, so that's why I did it.
Yeah, it's like it can be used to intimidate. It can be used to inspire. Like you're kind of like flexing for a crowd a little bit. That's kind of what's going on.
Right.
So
Oh, man, I
what
tried.
you're saying is
One
it's our
and all.
swagger.
Yeah, a little bit. And newer, I noticed you have awe. Sorry, what'd you say, Lucy?
I have 1 in awe.
I've got 2.
Either one of you can
I'll
spend
spend
a
a
hope.
hope to assist.
Yeah, let me throw a hope at him.
I believe only
Oh,
one
wait,
person
which
can
one?
do it.
Yeah, which one?
How many hope do you have, Noor?
I've got 12.
I do too.
Okay.
I'll spend it.
All right.
All right.
Because I did
Thank you,
steal your
Elariel.
money last.
I'll just sit
Yes.
here
That gives
looking
me
dwarfy.
5 die. All right. I am gonna roll now. Wow. Okay. So Gandalf rune,
Okay.
2 6s, 2 5s, and a 2.
All
So
right. Well,
a Gandalf rune and 2 T's.
perfect. So you will be able to make a total of 5, excuse me, 6 additional rolls to see how well you do in this. So after that, with that little speech you make, the Reeve nods his head. He goes, I have heard the rumors that you guys have been speaking of the orcs in town. I know you've been asking around about any news of them. It is indeed a grave threat. I shall be glad to hear. I shall be happy to hear your proposals. Tell us what you need. What do you ask of us in particular? How many men? What sort? Blah 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 blah. You know, that sort of thing. How many men? And is there anything else you ask of us?
Hmm.
It is at
All
this
of
Okay.
point.
it.
So
At this point is now the interaction phase, and so
mhm.
everyone gets to do something if they want. I believe the way I'm going to do this is everyone basically gets to pick a skill, and you can use that skill like one time to try and make arguments to get what you want. And you can make your requests as you go, however many men you want, any other kind of assistance you're asking for. I mean, you're mainly just asking for men, so. But of course, because anyway, number of successes will determine all the things you want. So if there's any other little things you want, the number of successes will help.
Okay, so quick huddle. uh, largest party that we expect to face is 40 orcs. Assuming maybe one man to 2 orcs is probably an okay matchup. Well, I don't even know that. Maybe 1 to 1 is better. Um,
Cool.
I would say that we are dealing with a host that we are unlikely to defeat without a great deal of cunning. And such, we should ask for the men who are skilled in the art of moving silently, and who are that possessed of themselves.
I agree. How many do you think we should need then? Because assuming 1 to maybe like 1, like every 2 men for 3 orcs is probably doable or something like that. So maybe, I mean, we'll see. Maybe start high and we'll negotiate now if we need. I like 20 men.
Yeah, you can certainly ask for 20 men, see if that's what you go for. Who wants to make the first argument roll, whatever. Uh, uh, Again, Unhearten is here, so you could just make a big bold speech of how to the men and see who's willing to come with you too. That could also be nice, or who's most what's the word I'm looking for? Inspired to come with you. Anyway,
Oh, okay.
useful
Could that
skills.
also
Sorry,
that
go
could
ahead.
also be domain of awe again too, right? So I could roll again for awe because that's really all I have, really.
Awe can potentially do it, and Hearten is um and Hearten's similar. You can use it to in Hearten, insight, persuade, riddle, song can all be very useful in this. Um,
Oh, song.
there's all and
Didn't we have a song that is exactly a bonus in councils that we just kind of ignored?
yes, there is. You can I guess you can't use it because I don't think you have a council song. Um,
Oh,
I
okay.
will say that if you can be you can be creative with other skills too. Like if you, for example, if you have a brilliant like battle plan or something, or like an art a way to demonstrate your battle knowledge, you can certainly put that to the forefront and convince
Or
them
can
with
use
that.
use athletics, ask for a pull-up bar, and just like impress them with how many pull-ups you can do.
Yeah, you just do some pull-ups. Yeah. If any of you are hesitant to follow us, consider this. And
Call that the Gaspron method.
I think we
Just like,
should
"Oh, he
instill
makes a
some
pretty good point."
fear. Tell them like they're already picking people off, and if you're okay with letting an orc band like pick off your children, then like be a pussy. But like I don't know.
Tell them they have no balls.
You wanna try say that to their face?
I mean,
Yeah.
that is yeah. I mean, yeah, that's not it's
that
not
could
out
be a
of the realm of
persuade.
possibility.
Yeah. I mean, they're already picking off rangers and killing them, but maybe they're fine with that since I don't like them anyway.
So you're saying okay, so you're saying each of us can perform one action, right?
Each of you can
One argument.
can attempt one skill roll uniquely of a kind. So you have 6 total skill rolls, but there's only 5 of you.
Right.
Each of you gets to use. I mean, like I guess in principle, one of you could use 6 different skills, but the point is that you each, like, you're not going to be able to use Enhearten two. Like Hildir's not going to be able to use Enhearten more than once. He gets one shot with Enhearten. But he could do Enhearten and Persuade, and then he'd get 2 rolls, and so forth. That sort of thing.
Okay, okay.
I'm not built for this at all.
What did you say, Tony?
um,
I said I'm not built for this at all.
You're a fighter.
Oh, would
I mean, I
roll
technically am
like a
too. I
lore
just
roll?
didn't know awe was like a conversational thing too.
Could I do like
If
a
I
lore roll and be like, you guys don't even know like what's been happening, and they'll slowly like take you out. Because I have 2 in lore, but everything else is like really low for this stuff.
You could potentially use lore to like appeal to some sort of historical point.
Oh my god.
Like like to know some knowledge about Bree or history of Eriador or something, and use that knowledge to basically explain to them why it's so important that they get out and fight now, based on things that have happened in the past. So I would certainly allow that sort of role, yeah. So if you wish to make that attempt, feel free.
Okay, should I?
I mean, going off your fear
Fellowship?
idea, right? I got a question. So going off of Lucy's fear idea, right? I got Shadow Lord. That means I know all about the dark and depraved, right? Can I tell them exactly what the orcs are going to do to them to intimidate them? Can I do
also
that?
have Shadow Lore.
Oh, can we double team this
Can we
shit?
like
yeah,
team
actually,
up?
That's a great idea, I think. Yeah, sure.
As long as we don't end on that note, like on a downer note. Like you guys
Nah. That's when one of y'all come in and fucking, right in the day is right. We're gonna wreck these bitches. You know what I mean?
Okay. So I think we're forming a little essay here. Okay, so we start off with here's the dire situation. So you guys come in with that, and then I might come in after that with the awe. And does anyone have good in Harden?
Hildir certainly does.
Hildir, you are our exclamation point at the end. How about that? About the in Harden? So I think we have. So okay, what exact roles are we having right now? So you and Lucy or Ilariel and Oridreth. What are you guys open with? What roles are you guys doing?
So what would the Shadow Lore be? Just lore?
So here's what Shadow Lore does. So yes, you're making a lore roll. What Shadow Lore allows you to do is you can spend a hope, and instead of just getting 1 additional die, you get 2 additional die because you're inspired.
Oh. Yeah, let's do that.
So if I got 4 ranks in it, I get 4 die.
If you
Plus 2.
if you have 4 ranks and you spend a hope, you would get 2 additional die. So you get a total of 6 die.
Okay, I got you. So I'm gonna spend that hope.
Me too. So I'll get 4.
If I still fail this will be some bullshit.
Oh no.
Oh,
Did you
shit.
roll really bad?
Hold on.
How bad is it?
What is
I got an
wrong
Eye of
with
Sauron, but I also got a
3,
T rune.
4, that's 7, 8. Oh, I definitely passed. I succeed. I wrote a 3 and a 4. So I wrote a 4 for the D12. Then I wrote a 1, 2 6s, and a 2.
A 1, 2, 6, and then a 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 14, 15, 19. That sounds like a success to me. And so you have 2 additional successes. So that's 3 successes. What'd you roll, Lucy?
I got 15 with an Eye of Sauron and a T rune, so I just failed it, right?
No.
Like I hit my target.
If you hit your target number, you're fine. Eye of Sauron's only an auto fail if you're miserable, and you're not miserable.
Oh, thank God.
So that's 2 successes from you and 3 successes from Aradra. Well, this council might be easier than I expected.
So should we
Wow.
widen influence?
Yeah, you can definitely widen influence. That'd be a very good choice if you wish.
Wow.
Well, yes, I guess, but in this particular case, widen influence isn't really necessary. It's kind of the same thing as just getting another success. Because a council succeeds when you have a number of successes. Like there's a certain number of successes you need to actually get what you want. And so you're already kind of doing that. Widen influence is more specifically useful in like a general case when you're just trying to like randomly talk to a crowd or something, not in a council, and just try to be like, who's with me? And then
I wonder if we should do make haste and like really try to scare the living hell out of them and be like, let's go now.
I mean, like, that's kind of the goal, ain't it?
All right. Well, here's what you both do. The both of you bouncing right off of each other. You like finish each other's sentences. You guys have been friends for a long time. You've worked for like however many years it's been. You guys know each other really, really well. So you're like starting to explain what orcs are like. Elariel, you in particular, both of you have been fighting orcs for as long as you can remember at this point. And so you know what you're like. You know the horrible things they do, the horrific things. So you guys just go into this horrific diatribe about how, about how orcs are like, they'll capture you and they'll torture you, but they won't just torture you. They'll take your children, your women. You don't want to see what they do. Did you hear what they did to Elrond's wife? The famous Elrond? Celebrian?
And these orcs, they're not sending their best.
And those orcs are from Eriador. These could be the very same orcs that did that to Celebrian, you know. And you're it's going this gruesome thing, and like you see some of the regular villagers, like some of the women are like terrifying, and like you see some of the women are like covering their children's ears that they unwisely took into the room. And the soldiers are like but the good news is some of the soldiers you see are getting really mad, and they're like nobody likes orcs, but like they're getting really pissed off. You can see like a bunch of them are just getting really, really mad at your description and explanations of what's going on. And you even delve into some of the history of how not too long, like 200 years ago, the orcs came out of Mount Graham and invaded the Shire in Bree. You know, those weird little small people that go here. How the hell did you guys even know about the Shire? You just got here, but you know, you heard about it in passing from one of these hobbits. And some of the hobbits seem to know about something called the Battle of the Greenfields, which you brought up, and you told them how about that little event in history. And like what little you know. And so you've gotten some of these guys really riled up and angry at this point. So that's 2 out of 6 rolls. Who would like to go next?
I think I think we'll stick with the program, right? So I go after that with the awe and say, you know, inspire them with, here's what they'll go up against us, right? And we'll say, I don't know, I'll just, you know, just again, just wax poetic about who we are and what we've done to these orcs.
Don't forget to say, like, this is the age of men. So it is our time, not theirs. You know what I mean? You got to be very inspirational.
Well, I'm an elf, so I'll say it's your time, not theirs.
Well, you're man like.
The twilight of the third age is upon us, and it is soon to be the dominion of men.
See, you guys write the speech for me. All right, I got it. So I roll for awe. Wow. I'm gonna get some comeuppance at some point in the future, but I got a Gandalf rune, but no 6s. So
yeah, we're gonna 6s. Well, all right. So after that horrific inspiration, you go into some detail. You're like, but fear not. We have already shown ourselves in battle against foes greater than any orc, far greater. We inspired terror in a great orc himself, the very lieutenant of this host nearby. And I myself am of the Noldor, the high elves from across the sea. Many battles have we fought against against the dark forces far beyond even anything that we've seen in the present age. And you sort of go on this whole diatribe of how great you are and how Elariel never misses with her bow. Nur is like your stout dwarven champion who can cleave a goblin's an orc's head off with nary but but with a wave of his gentle flick of his hands. Arodreth has dealt grievous killing blows to the troll matriarch in a vale in the northeast of the city or of Bree, and this power of your very voice shook towers, and your and of course Hildir is capable of striking fear with his song and wits himself. And so you basically describing your accomplishments, and you get some fist pumps and cheers from the crowd at this point. That is 3 out of 6 rolls. Would anyone else like to go?
Etch's turn.
All right, can I do? I think I'll go for
Or
the.
Noor, sorry.
I'll go for the awe and try to elaborate further on how we traveled vast swaths of land pursuing these orcs diligently without mercy.
And since you're in the party, we have the favor of the dwarves.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
What are your distinctive features, out of curiosity?
Oh, hold on. Got lordly, willful, and burglary.
Lordly, willful, and burglary. I'd say lordly could count as inspired for this awe.
Let me double check. I've got them saved here. Hold on. Where's
Burglary was one? I didn't see that.
I'm surprised we didn't choose that. That's what I was just thinking.
That's not.
I'm not
Except
sure.
for Shadowlore was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Where'd I?
Burglary does come from him being a treasure hunter, whereas Shadowlore comes from you being a warden. But yeah, I have lordly, willful, and burglary. I'd say lordly and maybe even willful, either way, would count you as inspired. So if you want to spend a hope for an additional 2d6, you can.
I think I'm definitely using because I only have 2 in awe, so I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'll use the hope to get extra 2d6s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I didn't use my hope before. Lucy was kind enough to spot one there. All right, we've traveled far and wide, murdering every orc in our path. None have left survived. All right, battle skadoodle. Oh, that's funny. 2,
Uh-oh.
5, 14. So that's a 22 total.
Any sixes?
Wow.
No 6s and no successes or failures among them at all.
All right. So you do succeed. Did you roll a d12?
No. Yeah.
Okay. So bouncing off of Alahir's point where he described he basically praised everyone in the group, and you went into some further detail. You described how the nature of the foes that you fought, like how terrifying the trolls were, you were able to terrify the orcs from you with nothing but the power of your commanding presences, and even you went out of your way to assist Fitch Talltree, the local huntsman of Archet, and got his support as well, and even received a reward. At which point, Ilariel displays her brand shiny new Archet hunting bow that she acquired. And
Dun, 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 dun.
so you make it. So yeah, you basically just bolster his points, and there's more. You can sense the energy in the room is very much in favor. You brought it around from fear to inspiration now, and I believe now you have 2 more rolls. So, yeah.
Exclamation point. Hildir.
Well, we had 2 more rolls, so one before Hildir goes with his Enhearten, right?
I do think Enhearten is a lovely finishing touch.
I have 1 point in Enhearten, but I don't like that's like the only thing I can probably apply here. So I might be done.
What if the ranger says something? Then Steph, would you roll?
I guess
the ranger could be like, "Help, my friend."
Yeah, but the ranger gets
He's
a
probably.
disadvantage. They don't care about rangers, right?
He's ill.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'd make him ill favored on his roll, but yeah, he could definitely. I guess I could do that.
Would Riddle do anything?
Pull anything out.
Would who?
Would Riddle do anything?
It could.
Athletics weren't a song.
The way they flavored his riddle is better for introductions. Riddle confuses me sometimes, but is riddle kind of like a deception check? I don't really know.
Oh, so maybe
Insight.
not. Well, okay.
Insight can do things because you engage the emotions of the crowd and play off them.
I forgot about lore. Lore is applicable here, right?
Yeah. In case
That's what
depending on
that's
what
what
you're,
Lucy and Stony did in the beginning, right?
that is what they did.
But
I
would it
I
We
make
haven't
am
sense to
sang
go
a
back to
song.
lore?
I do I have 3 in insight and his favorite. So
Oh,
All right. So, um,
I am a ranger though, but they don't know I'm a ranger. So
well,
will that make me ill favorite?
to them, you look just like some random guy from the south. You are a ranger, but you're not really. You're not one of the rangers that they know about.
Gotcha. So I mean, I could do an insight roll to kind of give them insight to our plan or our goal or what we're trying to accomplish and how it benefit them. You know, by killing a bunch of orcs, you don't have to worry about getting murdered by orcs. Well, how does that sound to you guys?
I think so.
Sounds good.
I do think of this as a role we burn, just to burn.
All right, so that is okay. Oh, that's a 9, and then 13, 14, 15. I rolled a 15.
Any sixes?
ooh.
That's sixes.
All right, I believe that's a success for you.
Yep.
So remind me, I couldn't quite hear you earlier. You were saying you're using this insight check to do what exact? To specifically read what? Like,
I kind of want to give them our goal and our plan when it comes to the orcs and tell them how it would benefit them by not having a potential, war party invade their tiny little village.
Reasonable.
um, so insight is to gauge like the emotions and stuff of the people that you're talking to. Like you're trying to get an idea of what of where they're at emotionally. Um,
Okay, then I want to see how, like, what proportion of the, like, soldiers
yeah,
seem willing to take this chance with
yeah,
us.
good. So, after these few things, after these little speeches by 3 of your 4 other companions, um, you and yours, of course, uh, you look around the room, you can gather it. The Reeve himself seems to um, you actually, based on what your expression is, based on his expression, he seems to have very intently listened to everything you've had to say, with seemingly great interest. Um, the soldiers around you, it seems like all of them are pretty much at this point. Um, they all seem pretty damn pumped at this point. There's like a few of them are kind of like there's like a couple that seem to have kind of been that aren't as gung ho. Uh, so with basically you gather that everyone's hugely on your side at this point and kind of ready to help you out. At this point, it's just uh, how far can Hildir sell it? And you slap him and you go, "Take it home, buddy," or however a Gondorian would say that.
It's your time to shine, Hildir.
No, not my time. Thank you, all of you, for hearing us out today. The hospitality and generosity of Bree is known far and wide. I knew of it all the way from my home in Dale. My father spoke of the generosity of Bree, as did his father. And that is the nature of Bree. For generations and generations, they speak, not just of its hospitality, but of Bree itself. It endures. With the bones of great kingdoms all around it, the ashes of Arnor, Bree endures. And that is what we are fighting for. There's an enemy host outside these walls. But I know we will endure. Through the strength, through the courage of its men. Join us, that in 1,000 years travelers may come and enjoy the hospitality of Breelanders.
All right.
Oh,
Very good.
I got chills.
Yes,
I'm
love
clapping. I'm clapping and I'm grinning. That was terrific.
That's
That was great.
terrific. Make your Enhearten roll. And
Imagine
I
you
am,
failed to
I am
roll after
spending
that.
hope.
you are spending a hope.
I am. So
Uh, I will say because of your folklore thing, that'll give you 2d6.
additional?
Yeah.
Okay, so I am rolling 2d6 for Enhearten, plus 1 for Spirit, plus Folklore, plus 1 for Folklore.
Plus. Yes. Excuse me.
Oh.
So you're favored, and you have 2 ranks, so that's 2d6. Plus the roll twice, take the highest feat die. You're spending the hope, but you're inspired from folklore, so that's 2d6. So 4d6 is what you're rolling.
All right, 1d6.
Can I spend a hope? Because I have one in a heart.
Sure, if you want to.
Yeah, I want to get that extra dice, buddy.
So make that 5d6.
All right,
You
so
can ask for 30 men.
10,
This is going
16,
well.
23, but no Tengwa or Gandalf.
All right. Well, with that speech, the room erupts in cheers. And after a brief moment, the Reeve waves his hand to have everyone settle down, and he goes, "I think we have you had us in the beginning. I'm happy to, I think, let all the men in this room, and you look around and you count, there are around 30 men, Bree Wardens in the town, or in the room with you. Presumably there's several others walking around the town right now. Assist you in your quest, or in your assault on this orc band. I will of course require that the remainders of my Bree Wardens remain here in case the battle goes ill, or we cannot be left with no protection. Though I think I can take a risk this large with warriors of your quality.
That's awesome.
What?
That's
Good
cool.
choice.
And so you guys got 30 Bree Wardens to come with you.
My plan was
That
a
is-
success.
No song needed.
No song needed, just some terror.
just
No,
scare their balls off.
Songs are made of. We are writing a song right now.
Me and Ilario are a fucking dangerous partnership, bro. Fucking hell yeah, man.
That was a great
That shit's
opener.
crazy.
That was pretty
Okay,
awesome.
Well, and did we get 6 rolls because of my initial
Yeah, the
awe
introduction.
thing?
The introduction they say it's the amount of time you have for the council.
Hmm.
And time is another way of saying this is how many rolls you get. So if you had failed, you would have only gotten 3 rolls. However, incidentally, you still would have succeeded. You would have succeeded pretty hard with just the first 3. You probably would have only gotten 20 with that at most.
Hmm.
But
Okay.
basically you got 5 per success, essentially. And not that many. You got 10 per threshold, I guess is the way I should put it. But I'm pretty sure that was 9 successes, if I'm not mistaken, right? Was it? No, it was 8. Whatever. Anyway,
Yeah. Wow.
So if you fail the introduction, you get 3 rolls. If you succeed, it's 4 plus any additional successes. So because you rolled those 2 additional Tangwar runes, you got 6 instead of just 4. But yeah, so you had a lot of opportunity to gain their attention. You have a whole host of men at your call now.
Good job, team.
And so guess it's time to raid an orc to destroy an orc band.
All right. Let's get this show on the road, boys.
I want to lead the charge.
Do it. Just like brush that head.
So
like
are
you're
they
on
going to
foot.
give us horses?
I don't need
Bree
no
is
horse.
not known for having
We should
a lot
raid
of
the
horses.
village and
Wait, we just got all this goodwill, and you want to sacrifice it raiding a village?
Convince the village
hey,
to
I
raid
gotta
themselves.
get my shadow up to 11 to earn my scar.
There'll be plenty of time for that. Okay.
I don't know if you're saving yourself economically if your goal is to just be evil for no profit.
we gotta
Hey,
be evil for profit.
would
Okay.
be horses.
Okay, that's fair.
We need
That's
need
fair.
horses
Listen,
ASAP to carry all
we're
my
not going-
treasure.
We don't need the horses. We don't need
Fine,
the
we'll run there.
horses. We can take them on foot. Okay. We're not about to
Fine.
turn Bree into some raider outpost in Middle Earth. Okay. We're gonna turn it into a drug den.
We're just granted 30 generic men. Are they not? Do they have ranks? Do they have experiences? 30 seems to be the point where we should break it down into smaller groups with command structure.
So you gather that there is the lead, that there's essentially the head of the 3 wardens is with them. Mostly it's kind of an informal thing where they kind of just they elect one sort of they're like 5 senior members that seem to make good leaders, but mostly their skills are all roughly like they seem to be mostly equals. But with 5 basically leaders and 1 is the overall chieftain, you basically have 5 groups of 6 men. And a Ferengi is a I not that I've watched Star Trek, but I do know Ferengi is basically economics alien.
Can I say space Jew? I mean, basically,
sure, I guess so.
Their whole race is focused on deals.
It's that is a criticism. Granted, they were meant to satirize 1980s culture rather than.
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah, they are.
Yeah, discount what I said.
They do have like giant noses and ears and rub their hands together in specific manners, so one could be forgiven for making that mistake.
What's the first law of acquisition?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
I know both. I know some of them. I know both war is good for business and peace is good for business. Never pay higher than you have to. I think.
Yeah, I think that's right. I saw the clip like once,
Thank you.
but I think that's what it is. He's talking to like a Vulcan about economics, and because he's obsessed with banks, he's more logical than the Vulcan is.
Oh, that was Deep Space Nine, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
His name's Quark, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's that. Um. So
I guess first, okay, so if we're splitting it up, I mean, okay, now we're splitting up. That would really give Stug headaches. You
well,
can simplify this however you want, Stug, but
I already have a
um,
vague notion of how I'm going to simplify this mass combat. Believe me, I'm not. Well, first of all, you don't even know if you're going to get to combat today. We're probably going to get to combat next week because it's. I'm guessing Stony
gonna
has
take
to
a
leave in
while.
like an hour. And I don't know about the rest of you. I know Lucy has to leave, in like 2 hours, right?
Yeah, that should give me enough time.
Um,
I should probably consider wrapping up in an hour as well.
All right, so
mhm.
I and so there's still a little bit you have to do before a combat really happens. So yeah, so because you still haven't gotten to the orc band, and you don't know the layout of the battlefield wherever that's going to be, so I have an inkling of what I'm going to do for this sort of mass combat, is what I'll say. And it's not, I'm
Okay.
going to try not to let it be nearly as complex as having 70
Yeah, I don't think it will be like, I would think
people.
you go like this. So, okay. Yeah, that would suck. So Orodreth obviously leads the charge along with Forlong, because Forlong knows where he met that group, right? So
Right.
them two is probably in a squad, fellow Rangers as well.
Right. That's what I was thinking. So that works for me. How many archers are there? Because they should probably be with Lucy.
I'm just imagining you and Forlong are just kind of Naruto running, like just straight toward where he saw it. Arm straight back, silently.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my sword when necessary. I'm gonna jump over them and find the leader. That's really what I'm here for. I want to take the head.
Mm-hmm.
So how many archers am I in charge of? 10.
Right. I mean, you're the archer. Like your focus are bows, right? I'm swords. I think Nerd's axes.
So yeah, that would be a question for Stug now, right? So how many of those people are ranged specialists, and they will probably follow Lucy.
So these
We'll stay in the back.
in spite of the fact that they are somewhat trained, it's worth noting that none of the people of Bree are like, or none of the wardens are like super crazy good warriors. Like they're not Alpha of Lindon, or
Right.
they're not like insane. So they have pretty general.
Let's send them first.
What's that?
We should probably send them in first, like some cannon fodder.
Brutal.
Let's not do that.
Basically, most of these men appear pretty much just trained with like spears, and yes, they have bow training. Basically, interviewing them, you gather that there's like 10 of them that are particularly good with the bow, and the other 20 are more practiced with the spear and not so good at the bow.
Do I have a group who I can accompany me to like be on the front lines with like axes and swords?
Yeah, that's probably where I would be too, because I'm literally just melee.
Well, spears can be frontliners.
Yeah, Yeah, but I have a whole other level in Axis, so I should be on the front lines with the L here.
Yeah. You guys can definitely lead your own fact. Guys can definitely split up with your own little what's platoons? I don't know how big it is.
Our little we can go in waves almost.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You do have 30 men,
Well,
and so basically each one of you could pair off with one of the more senior members and lead a host of 5 Bree men with you. Of course, there's also yeah, that includes all 5 of you plus Forlong could also lead a band himself as well. So yeah, everyone can split off with like 5 men at their hand. Lucy would probably take 5 archers or all 10 of them who are special at archers. Although if you wanted to instead, you could have her take 5 archers, 5 of the archer men, and have the rest of you have like 1 or 2 archers to back you up in your group.
Mm. I am
That's probably
no
good.
serious student of the art of war, but it seems like if we can somehow be relatively surprised, we could lead with a volley or several volleys of arrows from Lucy's team from one direction, so the orcs will likely want to flee away from the arrows, and then maybe a couple of the groups of the melee heavy groups will be waiting on that side or something
If
like
we
that.
have a few that are swift of foot, we can take 3 to 4 to bait the orcs into an ambush.
that's true. I was also thinking like, we got 5 groups of 6 or 6 groups of 5. I can't remember.
6 groups
Six
of
groups of 5.
So
It could be 5 groups of 6, and Forlong is by himself doing something else.
Or with or maybe he's with no. Yeah.
Or I guess it could be 5 groups of 6, and one of you is off doing something by yourself.
well, I was thinking. Hmm, as a charge,
But
you generally don't want most of your people in the charge. You want like a portion of them. If Ela here and they're going to make up a larger part of the front line, they should probably have 2 of the groups of 5 per person. I should have 1. Uh, but if the ranger is going to be with me, I have 2 that way. So we're all basically going to have 2 groups soldiers with us. Does that make sense?
I didn't quite catch it. No, sorry.
Give me 1 second.
I think I'm gonna buy Stoney a better mic.
I need one desperately.
I hear him fine.
Yeah, he comes
Maybe
through
it's
just normal for
just
me.
my.
Sometimes he does for me, sometimes he doesn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm just bad at listening. I don't know.
Yeah, you're bad
I'm more with.
ears.
I think I'm with
You need
Stug.
elf ears. You can hear
It's
me
I guess
kind
I
of
do.
yeah. Some of the consonants kind of blend together for me, so I couldn't hear that either.
I was saying that I think 2 of the groups of soldiers should go with Ela here. 2 of the groups of soldiers should go with Nur, because they're going to form the bulk of the hotline. I mean, of the front line.
Okay,
One
so
group should go with.
sorry, so 10 people each with Alahir and Nur. Go ahead.
One group of people of soldiers should be with me and the other ranger, since we're just going to be a frontal assault.
Well, that would be all 30 people if you do that. Oh, you said one group.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be 5 for Hildir and Alariel.
So you're suggesting
Oh.
somewhat of like a pincer movement, essentially.
Something like that. It'll allow us to be more mobile in front of front line to cover more territory so no one can escape. And if they want, they can readjust.
So the sturdiest
So
go with you.
in
hold the
your
front line,
scheme,
and then the other
Tony,
two-
the Forlong doesn't have a group. He's just with you. Is that
Yeah,
true?
he's just with me.
Okay, so each of us has 6, and there are 5 groups of 6. Is that what you're saying?
5 groups of 6, so 1 would be with me. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Well, there.
Okay.
5
Okay,
groups
so
of
you
6.
hold-
Well. Okay, so there's 5 groups of 6, following 5 of you, and then Hildir is alone without a group. So
Huh.
he would have to team up with somebody else. If I understood.
That's
what
fine.
was
I
happening.
can.
No. Forlong doesn't have a group. He's with
He's with me.
Orga. So
Oh, okay.
Hildir has his own group.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Hildir has. Sorry, yeah, you're right. Yeah. All right, so Hildir and Alariel, I guess, split up the archers together, because that'd be 5 and 5. Or do you want to just form one big group of archers?
I'll just have 5 with me in the back, just lobbing arrows.
Yeah, all right.
Right? Oh,
That's
before we
fine. I'll
go,
take-
there has to be like 1 horse here, right? Like
Oh my
maybe
God.
can I do a walkabout? If I'm gonna have archers,
a
I need
horse.
to be higher up. Okay.
You want to borrow my horse?
You do have 2 horses. Nur and Hildir both have a horse, but if you want an additional horse, I suppose you can make a and you want to find one. You could do a hunting roll or explore roll.
Those are pretty low for me. All right, I'll
Why do
just
you need
use.
the horse?
I'll use. I'll use Hildir's horse. It's fine. I'll borrow one for now
All right.
because I'm autistic and I have my eyes on a horse. Okay.
She's Galadriel.
I kind of want to find a horse just so I don't give it to you.
Well, I hope she doesn't enjoy riding horses as much as Galadriel does.
Who's Galadriel?
Huh.
Galadriel from Ring of Power. Remember that horse scene?
From what? From what of what?
The Rings of Power, that new Amazon show, Galadriel.
Who?
Oh.
I guess I gotta.
Does
Oh
she
shoot!
know
You know.
I guess I gotta pull.
Oh,
up
you
the
mean that
stream.
thing that doesn't exist? Yeah,
Yeah.
that. Moving on.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think that's the plan. So.
How to make the stream better?
So we don't know exactly what the layout or the the topography of where the orgs are currently at. So maybe for now we will travel just in parallel with our groups, and so we see and have of course scout ahead and make sure that once we see the orcs, we'll see their pattern and then we can plan an attack from there.
All right, now the stream's better. This is an image of Elariel.
Oh gosh, let me see.
Oh no.
Hey. No way. She doesn't even have a bow. And she's a pipsqueak.
That's true.
No, see, I would be on my horse. No, actually what I want is a stag. I'm gonna wait to find a stag and ride that around. And I'll be in the back with my archers.
Can you draw?
So I'll hunt the forest once we get going.
I wonder if you can you draw in OBS? I guess, I don't know, whatever. I'll just delete it. I want to give her like weird, scary red eyes.
Yeah, do that outside.
Hey.
Hang on, I can fix this in real time.
Okay.
This is very important.
This is the most important part of the stream. Uh, so sorry, what were we talking about?
So we
Anyways,
have our battle plan, but
Okay.
we don't want to go into battle yet because, right?
Well, you have to find the orcs first. So you right now
Oh, let's
you've
do
just
that.
got a group of men who are willing to follow you. It's at this point where you have to go
Okay.
find the orcs. Although
Well, since we have two rangers who are good at this kind of thing, like me,
mhm.
and me and the rangers should probably go find exactly where they are, right?
Yeah, I mean you'll definitely ride ahead as scouts. So this would be a hunting roll from so yeah. But with your large host in tow, your 30 men, you do take a few more days to prepare. Um, and uh, and once everyone's prepared on the final day of your fellowship phase, you all depart from the village. And let me see what day it would be, just so I know. 2 weeks after that is April 39th, which is May 9th. So it is now May 9th of 2965 of the third age. Oh, and so you set out into the Chetwood as a large group with Orodreth and Forlong scouting far ahead of you, but leaving traces so that way they know where you're following. In fact, Ilariel on her horse, or on Noor's horse, or was it Hildur's horse? One of the horses.
I don't have a horse. I have a mule.
Oh yeah, you have a mule. That's right. On
I do love
Hildur's.
mules, but I'll take horse.
Well, I guess you're in a forest, so it's not really economical to ride a horse running around just yet.
Oh,
So, um, you anyway, you keep a little further back, but trying to keep track of them. So I'll say, I do need Orodreth to make a hunting roll. We'll say that, for sake of brevity, that Forlong at least leads you to the place where he last found the orcs. And it takes about a day to get there. I'll have everyone make a travel roll.
All right.
I have nothing in travel, so I just roll 1d12.
Yeah, just roll one.
Can I
one.
use?
Oh yeah.
Can I use one?
Okay.
Can I use one of my? I'll use a hope point to give Aladriel. I'll give Alariel one for a
Okay.
hope
Oh,
point.
thank you.
Good deal.
So I've got.
Maybe I should spend one too, so I can have another one too. So 3
That's
or
fair.
Shall we
2.
all make one?
What are your distinctive
Okay.
features, Lucy?
Shadow lore.
You have 2 more.
Oh,
Oh, what does Swift give me?
Swift would give you a I guess. Oh, I guess this only. I guess Swift could give you a bonus for this, because if you're normally kind of fast, I guess you might take less fatigue from traveling. So basically, what it'll do is
You don't have to, right?
you'll be considered inspired. So if you spend a hope, you'll get 2 d6 instead of just the 1. So Ilariel, in addition to the 1 die from Noor's hope, you would be able, if you spend your own hope, you'll have another 2 d6 to roll.
okay. 3 altogether.
Yes.
Okay. Should I go first then, or?
Everyone can roll. And again,
Okay.
Ella, here you have Swift too, so if you want to spend a hope to get 2d6, feel free. But
Is this worth spending a hope though? Like if we fail, what does it do? We just take longer to get there, right?
well, you'll see.
All right, so
Hmm.
I got mine ready.
I don't.
Oh, jeez.
Hmm. Oh, what the hell? I'll spend a hope.
Okay.
All right, so I rolled a 10 for the D12, a 3, a 1, a 3, and a 6.
That sounds like a 2 success roll. I'll keep that in mind. You have 1 success and 1 additional success.
I rolled 17 total with 1 6 among them per success.
I shouldn't have spent that hope. My total is 13, so it doesn't even reach my target number.
Yeah, mine too. I failed.
Did you now?
Well, we got 2 extra successes, so we can use that to cover their fails, right?
Yeah.
You certainly can. Hildir?
Is that okay with you?
17 total. I got a Gandalf Groon out the favored roll.
Okay. Did you get any 6s?
No 6s, just a 12 and a 5.
Okie dokie. How'd you get a 12?
Yeah, no problem.
Gandalf Rune.
Oh, well, Gandalf Rune is just a success. It's not a 12. Mathematically,
Yep.
it's equivalent, I guess, to a 10. I guess. But it doesn't really matter. Anyway. Okay, so you've got 2 failures that you can cover with your additional successes. I suppose I should probably have what's his name roll too. Maybe I'm just making it complicated. I'll say he's favored because why not? And and you've got an additional 2 successes from Forlong. So, and he succeeded on his own roll too. So you have 4 extra successes. So you're spending 2 of them to cover for your failed companions. And what would you like to do with those last 2 successes?
Again, I think probably the options are swift or stealth or something,
Go
right?
quietly. Yeah.
Swift and go quietly are both good options.
You might want
Obviously,
to go
there's gain
quiet.
insight too.
Oh. It's a good one too.
I will say. Meh. Okay. Yeah. So pick your combo of things.
So how many do we have left? 2?
You have 2 additional successes. And I will say, at the very least, I'll say this. If you wish 2 to do, you can apply 2 to the same perk if you wish. It'll just make that one perk better. You can mix and match. You can do 2 different perks, or you can do 2 of the same perk, and it'll change precisely what happens.
I say we get the site and we move stealthily so we can get the jump on them.
Any objections, or is that good?
Let's do it.
Go for it.
All right,
Let's
good
go.
deal. So
I concur.
you do stress to your people that you're leading to be quiet. Now, incidentally, the travel roll was to see if you got a fatigue point or None of you got a fatigue. But you managed to keep a little quiet, so you think at least that you haven't drawn too much attention to yourself. As you approach where the camp was, you find evidence that the camp left this area. It's about a 4-day-old camp. So whenever Forlong last saw this camp, it's been 4 days since they left. So you notice that, and you can tell that they traveled towards the northeast direction. And so and you further, I guess, find out that I guess that's it. So the next order of business would be to try and follow them to see if you can keep on their trail. Shouldn't be insanely hard. I would say that this would be a hunting roll, but because it's such a large host, a relatively large band, I will give it a greater advantage, so it'll just be an automatic 2d6 to whoever wishes to make this roll. Like additional 2d6s.
I'm favoring
hunting?
hunting,
Wait.
and I got 3 ranks in it.
Perfect
should
for
do it.
Ardra. Lead on.
Okay.
All right, so that would mean in your case that would be 5d6 rather than just the normal 3. And no hope is necessary to spend here. That's just you just get that.
Oh wow. Okay, so I rolled a Gandalf rune, and then I rolled a 4, 3, 2, 5, and a 6.
So 1 success with an additional success. Okay, how do you want to spend that additional success?
If I choose swiftly, will we still be moving stealthily?
You will be moving less stealthily than you would if you did it normally.
Insight's also a good one.
So go quietly. If you want to minimize your chances of being discovered, go quietly is obviously your best bet. But of course, if you go swiftly, there are perks to that too. It all depends.
How far back are they from me? Because I know I'm a little bit ahead of the main party, right?
You were. Yeah, you are, along with Forlong.
Is it-
You're
are
like
the-
you're like within you're like an hour ahead of them, so you can't really see them so easily. But like you can see Ilariel in the distance keeping pace with you, but the main host you can't see. Well, you can see them a little bit like dimly on the horizon, basically. But Ilariel is the only one you can see in any amount of clarity. As you're dipping in, because right now you're reaching into the Weather Hills now, so you're starting
Right.
to.
I noticed that it's strange. Some insight would be nice too. I think I'm gonna take the insight.
Insight?
Yep, I want to gain insight.
Okay. So as you continue to follow these guys, you do end up you're following as you and Forlong are looking around, seeing if there's any signs that you can find beyond just the typical stuff, anything to look out for. You do end up locating a small you are, as you're looking around, it actually is quite a sunny day right now, and as you're looking and examining the grounds, you pass by like a small set of some thick grass, some tall grass, but your eye just happens to catch upon a small glint of light, and so you go to it and you try to see what it is, and you find a small you find a ring.
What?
What? Can I
Is it shiny?
It's
I
shiny
roll?
enough to glint.
Can
Is
I
it
roll?
precious?
Can I
Is
roll
it
insight?
precious?
Can I roll insight to see what it is? Like to see if I know what it is?
Insight wouldn't be the like. Are you trying to identify the item?
Yes.
The only thing that insight's about people. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Okay.
Um,
What about
ri-
lore?
Lore or riddle could both maybe be applicable here.
Okay.
Craft could have applications.
Would shadow lore fit into this?
No.
Strange. Oh, it's not a. Okay, it's not the ring.
Oh, come on. Yeah, it probably wouldn't be.
Hey
You don't
man,
see
you
any
never
teeth.
know.
Were?
It's case story.
The ring does not seem
If
to
it
have any
were,
teeth.
we would not be able to distinguish it from a gold band.
Okay.
Mhm.
True. Throw it into the fire.
So I have 3 points in lore and it's favored. Anyone
Yeah,
have better?
I've got
but you
2 in
guys aren't
favor.
Well,
with
you
me.
guys are an hour back. Roderick's got to make this roll himself.
Okay.
Mm,
But he's
I
got pretty good
have.
lore.
Yeah, I favored in lore, and I got 2 in lore. I got 5 hope. I can spend a hope. I'm gonna spend a hope. I think that's a good idea.
I have 2 in lore. I'll spend a hope to assist.
You're a
Plus.
while back too, so you're not there either.
Oh shit!
Damn it.
I'll spend a hope on me.
Moral support.
Are you spending a hope, Roger?
I did.
Okay.
Okay.
So did
here
you pick it up?
Oh, I'm picking it up either way. I don't care if I don't know what it is.
Do you feel funny?
We're gonna see in a minute. Oh, I rolled a Gandalf rule, a 5, a 6, and a 1.
Let's go.
So Gandalf room with a 6.
Yeah.
Well, so the ring is it's got an interesting design. It's it's not adorned with any major gems, but it seems to be made of a silver, and it's got a floral design that appears to be reminiscent of what are those flowers called? Well, whatever. I don't know what it's called, but it's the floral. They look like the flowers that once supposedly grew on the white tree of Gondor.
Well,
Or
hi,
at least they
ironic.
resemble that.
Okay. All right. I
And
picked up
and those flowers are almost brighter than the rest. So it almost looks like maybe this ring was not just forged of normal silver, but even mithril is in this ring.
Holy shit. So I'm definitely going to pick up the ring, but since I'm a ranger of Ithilien, the flower will look familiar to me, right?
Yeah, you recognize it at once from that.
So I want to show it to Forlong and see if it belongs to his ranger partner.
He looks at the. You walk over to him and he shows it. Incident. Well, I also. How do you want to? That extra success first is what I want to add to.
All right.
You suspect that if this is that this ring was probably a descendant of the original, like the design is almost certainly, given the region it's in, probably associated with a family that may have gone as far back as Numenor itself, and probably had some associations with the original white tree known as Nimlaw. Of whom the white tree of Gondor is is a sapling, or is the sapling of that tree. But yeah, you hand it over to Forlong, and he looks at it and goes, "Yes, I recognize this well. He would not have cast it aside, and he would have not let any orcs handle it wildly. I will take this as a sign that he is alive."
Then we need to make haste. Okay, so I
So
want
it's
to
not
keep the
something
ring.
Lucy can just take, huh?
Well, she could take it.
Can I keep the ring?
It's crossed my mind. The fact that you brought it over to show the other ranger was shocking.
I'm glad you're out behind me, right? It's my ring. Can I keep the ring? I want to keep the ring.
Is that a question you actually asked him?
You can certainly try.
I will kill him over this ring. I'm just saying.
It's his birthday.
You know what? No. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. I give him the ring and tell him I hope his friend is safe. Let's make haste.
Then you won't take any shadow points.
Aww.
And you won't get murdered by the
I remember the description of him, so I don't think I could murder him if I wanted to.
Well, actually, you probably would have a decent fighting chance. He's a ranger. He's not like a god.
I mean, I'm a ranger.
He might be might be tougher than you. You don't know. But
Don't do that. Don't do that, because I will fight him.
All right. Anyway, well, let us make haste. I can only imagine he's endured all manner of torment, and I only hope his will has endured long enough so that he hasn't revealed any information to them that they might have been after. It's a grim thought, but I will trust to hope that they were only tormenting him for their own pleasure, as they often do, rather than seeking any information in particular. Anyway, let's not speak of such things. Let's move on.
All right, let's move on. So, what's next? Another roll, or?
No. So you continue to follow the path. You already did your hunting roll. You're fine. And they were you knew you were 4 days behind them at least, based on the previous camp. So wherever they are, it may take another. It may, in principle, take 4 days or longer to keep up with them. At this point, I think all I'm going to do is have you all make another travel roll to see how long it takes you to catch up with them.
Each of us.
Yes, and I'll make
Is it still favorite?
if you're favored in it.
I have Swift, so I'm favorite in it.
And I'll give Aura Forlong a thingamajigger.
Okay,
Uh.
the D12, I got a Gandalf rune, and then I rolled a success among the D6, so that's 12, 6, 27 total.
You roll the Gandalf room and you have how many sixes?
1.
Okay, that's 2 successes. Good.
I rolled 22 with a T room.
All right, 2 more successes.
Yeah, I didn't want to spend another hope point, so I failed.
I failed as well.
Well, what's his name succeeded, but he didn't get any sixes. Hildir.
Oh dear.
Failed.
Okay, so unfortunately, it looks like you are going to well, you have 2 successes, so you can cover 2 of those failures. So that means you only have 1 failure. So instead of the hoped well, okay. I guess I should ask this question. Are you guys going at a forced march pace or a normal pace?
We are pretty motivated, right?
Are
So
we sneaking?
You can sneak at a forced march pace. Forced march most of us just means
Mm,
you're covering more distance. You're not resting.
yeah, I
I
think
see.
just based off of the vibes we did when we kicked off and we had our council, we're all pretty motivated to get to these orcs. So I would probably say yes, we're well, I mean, we are just following the orcs too, though, right? So
You're pretty
we're
much just
trailing the orcs, so we might not go too fast so as to catch up to them. So maybe that's up to you, Stug.
okay. Well, well, no. It's up to you, because if you do a normal pace, you'll take longer to get them, but you won't get as much fatigue. If you do a forced march pace, you'll accrue more fatigue, but you might catch up to them faster.
Oh, what do y'all think? I feel like
Well, I should say you will catch up to them faster. Oh, did you do storied maps, or did you? No, you did the fellowship thing. Sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, I guess that's up to the group. I think less fatigue is good. I don't think we should rush. I mean, we have a big band of people in case. I don't think time is a well, it is. We do want to rescue people. But I don't want to rush.
Yeah, I think we should conserve our energy. We don't know exactly what we're going to encounter.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Normal pace. Any objections?
Normal pace sounds good.
Okay, sounds good. I'm going to ask for who wants to be a lookout, a scout, and a hunter.
What skills? Lookout is
Explorer is
basically.
scout, lookout is awareness, hunter is hunting.
I should probably do the one with awareness.
What were the 3
Mine's
options?
pretty-
What were
I
the
have
3
3
skills
and
now
it's
again?
favored.
Don't forget you have a magic item Lucy, that gives you stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So you should probably be the scout.
Doug
Okay.
is the nicest DM.
I know, seriously.
Well,
Oh,
so far
I
I
also
only
have-
have 2 magic items to remember, so
I only. Oh, I forgot. I have a circlet
He
of
hasn't had-
awe. That would have helped too.
that
Back
would
then.
have helped. I forgot it was awe specifically. Yeah.
Am I with these guys?
Now
Because
it's
if so, I
circlet
could be
of
hunter.
aw.
Don't worry about it. I already rolled it. We already decided Lucy's the scout. Lucy.
Yes.
I need you to make an explore roll.
Okay.
And you remember it's a you can
+2.
yeah.
Okay. Uh-oh. I'm gonna spend a hope to have one more dice. If that's okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, hold on, Lucy.
Oh,
Well, you can keep your roll, it's fine, but if you're
are
spending
you
a
sure?
hope,
I'll
you can just
re-roll.
get him. If you spend a hope with your magic item, you get an automatic success.
Oh, perfect. Because my roll was shit.
Yeah, you get a magical success for it. So
Whew.
sure. Did you get any 6s?
I did get 1 6.
All right, so you get an additional success. So the good news is that oh, actually, I guess I should roll this again. Okay. I have great news for you guys. Everyone recovers 1 hope as thanks to the magical success. What happens is as you guys are traveling, following this road, you're slowed down by the you're making very poor progress. Sadly, you're moving slower than you want. This is the consequence of your failed journey roll, your 1 failure in your travel roll. After 4 days, you still determine that you are 3 days behind them, so you've only gained a single day so far. You don't gain any fatigue. You gain 1 hope as you see the clouds suddenly part. The sun shines, and in fact, in the distance you see a great eagle circling in the distance.
The Eagles.
Oh, somebody say they tamed the eagle.
The Eagle is with us.
Can someone
And
please to tame it?
I don't
Yeah.
think he can tame this.
everyone gets a free hope. So you are still 3 days behind them after 4 days of travel. I guess we'll say that you do accrue everyone who succeeded. Well, everyone's I'm gonna say is gonna get 4 fatigue. Yes. Oh wait, no, hold on. Fatigue is
But we have to say it that way. For fatigue.
Yes. You must say it that way. I'll say this. You'll get 4 fatigue. But
Yeah.
You'll get 4 fatigue. I'll just say that. From the fact that you're a little bit It's been rough traveling in all this rain so far, so that's what you'll get, and that's because you
4
think.
fatigue. So we all have 4
Oof.
fatigue.
But
Yeah.
I'm on a
okay.
horse.
However, the two people who have mount, which I believe is Hildir and Nur,
Hey.
they reduce their fatigue by 2, I think.
So we all have
All
4
right.
fatigue.
So yeah, that's what happens. Um,
Oh man. Okay. So travel is important. Spend hope on travel.
I got you covered.
however, also everyone. Actually, I'll ask this too. Who do we want to spend the successes on to cancel their failed travel rolls? Because you've got 2 out of 3 that you can cancel, which means Hildir, Elahir, and Elariel. Of those 3, which 2 get the success?
Oh
You
man.
give the success ones to the most combat effective.
Okay. Then Elariel and Elahir, you only take 3 fatigue.
Okay.
There we go. Sorry about that. I was trying to remember how this works.
Wait. So Noor. So basically, if Noor succeeded in his role, but he got 4. So,
No, because he has a mount, so he only took 2.
Oh, okay. Okay. For example,
Oh,
Orodreth rolled.
excuse me. Yeah, you make a good point, actually. I'm going to say, yeah, Nur and whoever else succeeded, Arodrath, you both also get reduce your fatigue by 1.
Okay, so 3.
So
Sorry,
I
my
so
bad.
instead of 4, I just get 1 fatigue.
I guess the only one who gets 4 fatigue is Hildir.
No, he has a horse.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, he gets 2 fatigue. But yeah, you get,
Technically, I thought I was riding the horse. but
Technically,
it's-
you have my horse.
That's what I thought too.
sure, Lucy, you can have the one. You can take it if you want, and Hildir can take the full brunt of the 4 fatigue loss.
Ah.
Should have grabbed that horse, huh? Now you guys wish I had the horse.
The problem is this isn't a
This
traditional
is-
journey event, so I'm really not like super sure how I should run it, but I think I'm making something that kind of makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's just see where it goes, man.
What does fatigue affect anyway? So like if you have
Fatigue is an additional load.
it adds to your load. Yeah.
So
how much does it
load?
add to your load?
Every single fatigue is worth 1 load. So yeah.
And when your load gets higher than your endurance,
When your load meets or beats your endurance, you become weary.
okay. Not weary yet, but very close.
Wussy wee. All right, well, I will allow okay. So I will allow 1 more travel roll to see if you can catch how easily you can catch up to these guys.
Spend hope, everyone.
So
So I think it's time I can use So I've still got the broken spells. I can spend a hope to achieve a magical success on a travel.
Feel free to do that.
All right. So that just means that my D12 is automatically a Gandalf rune.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, sort
So-
of.
So like I still roll it, but it counts as like a success, right?
You roll your d6s, and that's just roll your d6s.
Okay.
And the only reason you need to roll your d6s is to see if you get extra successes.
Yeah. Okay. There's one there's one success among them.
Okay. Forlong seems to have failed his travel.
God damn it, Fong.
I guess he won't be able to travel for long. Ha 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 ha.
Terrible.
Very.
Ooh.
I rolled a 20, no successes, no extra successes.
I've forgotten about Elven skill. Does that apply here?
I don't remember what Elven skill is.
Let me scroll up to our.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
You described that to me as a distinctive action earlier, right? Because I don't think that's a distinctive act. Yeah, did you describe that to me as a distinctive action? I don't think it's a distinctive action, a distinctive trait, feature, whatever it's called.
Cultural blessing, Elven skill, right?
Yeah, that would that cultural blessing applies to anything. As long as you have a rank and a skill, you can use it.
I haven't rolled yet, so
Do it.
It gives you a magical success in any skill you have ranks in.
oh, I don't have any ranks. Okay, I'll just spend a normal hope to get 2 dice then.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh, but it's my target number, right? That's what we're trying to match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I failed.
All right. So Aradreth, you succeeded with 1 additional success or no additional successes?
No additional
Okay,
successes.
so 1 success. Noor, you got magical success plus additional success.
That's right.
3 successes. Okay. Healdir, what did you get?
I did not. I'm trying to find my character sheet again.
Okay, Ella, here you failed. Ariel, what did you get?
I'm rolling travel. Sorry.
Yes.
Okay. I got a 1 on my D12, so that's
All right,
fail.
here's where our good fortune earlier is paying back for us here.
Yeah. All right. So
I actually am going to neglect the reroll a Gandalf rune and a 6. So
Nice.
okay, so that's 5 successes total, right? Yes. So all of you guys take only okay, let me just see. I'm gonna do something.
Wow, this fatigue is killer.
Okay. So after a few more days of travel, you determine that you're still 1 day behind them. They did stop for rest, seemingly at one place a few days ago, 2 days ahead of you. And they were traveling into the Weather Hills. So you're now deep within the Weather Hills. In fact, you're beyond them now. You're starting to enter into the region that was known as Rudar. You in fact passed through another forest at the northern end of the Weather Hills. You didn't pass too far away from the Vale of Morgland that you were in with the troll family and where you met Skilda. But now you're in the barren lands, the wastelands or the region that was once Rudar. And you appear to have shifted. You seem to have continued to make your way northeast, surprisingly. And so after another uh, 3 days, you are a day behind them still, and that so you'll all take those of you who didn't. All of you succeeded effectively, so all of you will only take 3 fatigue. However, whoever is involved with mounts gets 2 fewer fatigue. And so I think that's Lucy and Noor.
Yeah.
So you
Rich
two will
people
only get
privilege.
1. And
Alright.
Forlong will get the full brunt of.
Oh,
Wait, hold on. Did I do that right? If you
What I miss?
succeeded,
What
sorry,
happened?
excuse
I
me,
gotta.
excuse me, I misspoke. You get 3 fatigue, but all of you reduced it by 1, and then Noor and LRL reduced it by a further 2, so you have 0 extra fatigue. There you go.
Lame.
Forlong will take the full
nice.
brunt of the 3 fatigue that he accrued. So you are now a day behind them.
Tony really wishes horse.
Probably could have got a horse.
I just want to make sure my load is right. Mine says 16 right now. Is that right? I have 6 total load for my weapons and 10 total load. Oh yeah, no wait. Oh yeah, that's right. Never mind. Sorry, keep going.
I will comment that you you did veer a little more east rather than northeast specifically. So you didn't go like due northeast. You started to turn more due east as you passed the Weather Hills. Sorry, did you say Ella here?
No, carry on. I'm being dumb.
Okay, so you are in a very stony land. There is some plant life, and occasionally you find evidence of you find ruins of old towns or towers that might have landed in Rudauer. You're starting to anyway as you enter this region, and I guess we'll see. I'm gonna do another thingamajig. So who was the lookout and who was the hunter?
I could be the hunter if nobody else can. I'm favored and I got 3 right.
All right. All right. Who's the lookout?
What skill is look at again?
Awareness.
I'm not too good.
I also am favored in awareness with 4 ranks.
Well, you already chose hunting.
Just saying, if somebody needs to switch.
Who has good awareness? Anyone volunteer?
I got 0 awareness.
I have 2 not favored. Anyone better than that?
I have 3 and it's favored, but I'm the scout.
Okay, I'll be
But
awareness
maybe
guy.
someone else.
Let me roll
Okay.
for awareness. Ooh, just barely pass. So, and a T rune.
You succeeded with a T rune. Okay.
Mhm.
So I'll say. I will amend my statement. You. I will amend what I did before. So you, Ella here. So here's what happens. I'm changing some things based on that roll. So as you are tracking these orcs, this orc band, this relatively large orc host, which seems to have made its way far away, strangely, from Bree. You you actually look around as you crest above a hill. You actually see the orcs in the distance, and you actually look around over this hill. You see a path winding through, cutting through these stony hills, and you suggest, why don't we go that way? So you actually end up finding a path that allows you to catch up a little easier to these orcs. So you guys are now actually pretty close to the orc band. I like here you do take an additional fatigue as a consequence of this little event, but you guys are now essentially upon the orc band, and you encounter them. They actually find in this stony region, they find a cave off to the. They've been hiding in caves and whatnot for protection from the elements, and setting up their camps. Outside the cave, of course, because they can't all necessarily fit in there, but they are sitting around a cave and whatnot, and they actually end up camping next to a cliffside. So there's actually a cliff overhanging their camp on one side, and a small thicket of woods on the north, and it's basically open on the south and west, roughly speaking.
Okay. All right. So I think next turn or next event is probably encounter, right? Like the great skirmish.
It sure could be. You could
Could be. Also, it is. Sorry. Go ahead.
If you wanted to, because you did take a long time to catch up with them, and you are fatigued. It could, and something you could do is try and find a safe place to rest, to at least recover a little bit of the fatigue that you accrued during this incursion. However, you don't know exactly. That could set you back a little bit, but you are also upon them, so perhaps it's worth it. Anyway, I'll let you decide that, but you can if you can find a place to have a safe rest, that could be beneficial. It also could not be beneficial. That's ultimately up to the dice.
It also could put you more at risk.
Right. We could lose our element of surprise. And we have 30 men. I mean, I don't think fatigue will, unless you get hit for good damage and you can't parry it, then you'll be wary. But I don't know. Also, it is 2:08 Central, so I think a couple people probably go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting
If
there.
we're right on the orc, if we're right on the party, this might be a good place to put a checkpoint.
You're right, Stony Land. Yeah, I think this is a good spot to stop. Everyone will get 3 experience of skill and adventure. Please note that down.
3 adventure and 3 skill points.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And at some point, please don't forget to post your new updated character sheets for me in Children of Iluvatar specifically.
Okay.
Yeah, that's that.
Doing that right now.
So I'll just close out with a cinematic ending. You guys take your time examining the region or examining the camp, and you begin preparations for your ambush upon them. And yeah, we'll pick that up next time. So
War is upon us.